From the golden feasts of European royalty to the sunlit fields of Yunnan, the peacock has journeyed far beyond its image of luxury. Once a living ornament of palaces, it is now the heart of a sustainable farming industry, where every dazzling display turns into streams of revenue from tourism, fashion, and the global marketplace. Welcome to AgroWorks USA. I'm here to take you inside one of the most fascinating transformations in modern agriculture: peacock farming. These birds, admired for centuries as symbols of beauty and power, are no longer confined to royal gardens or myths. Instead, they are raised on farms that combine cultural heritage with cutting-edge techniques, producing not only breathtaking feathers but also a booming business. In the next minutes, we'll uncover how Chinese farmers cultivate peafowls, the economics behind this stunning bird, and why its future lies at the intersection of conservation and commerce. Stay with us, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more untold stories from AgroWorks USA. Peafowls, scientifically known as pavo, trace their origins to South Asia, with strong populations in India, Sri Lanka, and surrounding regions. Over centuries, they have been introduced to Europe, China, and beyond, becoming one of the most admired ornamental birds in human history. Among the most recognized subspecies is the Indian blue peacock, famous for its deep sapphire plumage and iconic eye-spot patterns. Crossbreeding with the Japanese green peacock gave rise to the Spalding peacock, larger in size and highly resilient. Even rarer are the white and multicolored peacocks, genetic variations prized by collectors and capable of fetching extraordinary prices on the global market. Culturally, the peacock carries profound symbolism. In India, it is the national bird and a sacred emblem linked to Lord Krishna and the goddess Saraswati. In China, it signifies longevity, prosperity, and nobility. In ancient Greece, it represented majesty and power. Beyond their beauty, peafowls embody timeless ideals, making them creatures of both cultural reverence and commercial value. For peacock farming to succeed, housing must be designed with both safety and natural behavior in mind. Each adult bird requires at least 100 square feet, 9 picks of open space, to walk, forage, and fully display its plumage. Enclosures should be secured with fences 6 to 7 feet high, tall enough to prevent flight but still allowing visibility. Integrating natural ground cover, shrubs, and even small trees inside the enclosure helps replicate their wild habitat, reducing stress and encouraging natural courtship displays. Sheltered areas are vital for protection against heavy rain, wind, and harsh sunlight. At night, peafowls instinctively seek high vantage points to sleep, so wooden perches should be installed to mimic this behavior. In colder climates, farmers often add heated perches or insulated flooring to protect the bird's feet from frostbite. Adequate ventilation is equally important. Airflow should prevent dampness without creating direct drafts, which may cause respiratory problems. Hygiene is the final cornerstone of proper management. Daily removal of droppings, leftover food, and feathers keeps the environment clean, while deep cleaning once a week, especially in the wet season, prevents disease, maintains feather quality, and ensures the long-term health of the flock. Do you think a peacock really needs 9 square meters of space? Or is that too much? And do you believe daily cleaning truly keeps them healthier? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more insights from AgroWorks USA. Peafowls are omnivorous birds with a varied diet that directly influences their health and feather quality. On farms, each adult consumes approximately 200 to 300 grams of feed per day, combining grains, vegetables, and proteins. Staples such as rice, corn, beans, and millet provide energy, while leafy greens like water spinach, cabbage, and carrots supply vital vitamins. Protein sources, including fish meal, earthworms, insects, and small crustaceans, are essential to maintain vibrant plumage and strong immunity. During the breeding season, farmers typically increase protein intake to enhance fertility and improve hatch rates. For chicks, nutrition begins with finely ground starter feed, often mixed with boiled eggs and tender greens to build strength. As they grow, they are gradually introduced to grains and live insects to develop natural foraging skills. Clean drinking water must always be available, refreshed daily to prevent contamination. Beyond diet, attentive care is crucial. Farmers monitor feather condition, weight, and behavior to detect early signs of illness. Routine deworming, vaccination programs, and mineral supplements further protect the flock. With balanced nutrition and proactive management, peafowls thrive in captivity, producing the brilliant tail feathers and robust health that make them highly valued in global markets. The reproductive cycle of peafowls is both spectacular and economically important. Breeding season typically runs from March to August, when males display their magnificent tail feathers to attract mates. By fanning their plumage into a dazzling arc and vibrating the feathers to create shimmering light effects, peacocks compete for the attention of nearby peahens. Females select mates based on tail length, vivid eye spots, and the strength of the male's courtship dance, traits that signal vitality and genetic fitness. Once mating occurs, a peahen lays between 20 and 30 eggs per season, with some reaching up to 40 under optimal care. Eggs are usually deposited in shallow ground nests hidden among tall grass or bushes for protection. The incubation period lasts 27 to 30 days, during which the mother remains close, guarding and warming the clutch. Newly hatched pea chicks are covered in soft yellow-brown down, blending into their environment for camouflage. They grow rapidly, developing their first blue feathers within 3 to 4 months. By 2 years of age, peafowls reach adult size, though males require nearly 3 years to grow their full ornamental train. With proper care, they can live up to 35 years, making them a long-term commitment for farmers. Are you surprised that a female peahen can lay up to 30 eggs a year? Which do you think works better, natural incubation or using machines? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion. The global market for peafowls demonstrates just how valuable these birds have become. In the United States, a juvenile peacock typically sells for $200 to $500, while a healthy adult can reach $1,500 to $2,000. Rare variations such as the white or multicolored peacock command premium prices, with pairs sometimes valued at $8,000 to $10,000. In China, large-scale farms in provinces like Yunnan and Guangxi generate hundreds of millions of dollars annually, exporting thousands of birds across Southeast Asia and the Middle East. Revenue is not limited to live bird sales. Each peacock naturally sheds 150 to 200 feathers per year, which are carefully collected and sold for $5 to $20 each, supplying the fashion, decor, and handicraft industries. Some farms also provide rental services for weddings and cultural events, charging between $300 and $1,000 per occasion. Additionally, ecotourism ventures that showcase peafowls in landscape parks or sanctuaries can generate hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, combining conservation with commercial opportunity. Together, these diverse income streams transform peacock farming from a niche hobby into a sustainable agribusiness model with both local and global impact. Despite its appeal, peacock farming comes with serious risks. Disease is the foremost challenge. Peafowls, though resilient, are prone to respiratory infections, digestive issues, and parasites when kept in damp or unhygienic conditions. Preventive care, regular cleaning, deworming, and vaccinations is vital but increases costs. The second challenge is high investment and slow returns. Building spacious aviaries, ensuring protein-rich diets, and hiring skilled workers demands significant capital. Since males require nearly 3 years to grow their full ornamental plumage, farmers must wait before seeing maximum profit, testing both patience and financial stability. Market risks also loom large. The demand for peafowls is strong but specialized, linked to luxury decor, ecotourism, and collectors. Any downturn in these sectors can cause sharp declines in prices. In addition, legal restrictions on certain subspecies, such as the Indian blue in its native country, complicate trade. To succeed, farmers must balance vision with careful planning, managing both the opportunities and vulnerabilities of this unique industry. Do you think the peafowl market is truly sustainable or just a passing trend? What do you see as the biggest risk, disease, or unstable markets? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy stories like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with AgriWorks USA. The future of peacock farming looks increasingly promising as global demand for ornamental birds and ecotourism steadily rises. Market projections indicate growth of 5 to 7% per year, driven by luxury sectors in Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Peacocks, long symbols of prosperity and beauty, are finding new roles in fashion, decor, and cultural tourism. Farms are also moving towards sustainable models, combining breeding with eco-parks that attract visitors while supporting conservation. Improved incubation systems and veterinary practices are boosting hatch rates, while selective breeding creates more resilient flocks with higher market value. These innovations allow farmers to balance tradition with modern efficiency. Although investment costs and market risks remain, the long lifespan of peafowls and their enduring cultural prestige ensure they will remain valuable assets. For forward-looking farmers, this industry is more than a hobby. It is a pathway to combine natural beauty with sustainability and long-term economic opportunity. From the palaces of Europe to modern farms in China, the peacock's journey reflects how beauty can be transformed into business. No longer just a royal ornament, it is now a sustainable source of income through tourism, feathers, and global trade. For farmers who master proper care and strategy, peafowls represent a unique blend of culture, conservation, and commerce. But what about you? Do you see peacock farming as a niche reserved for luxury markets, or as a growing opportunity for sustainable agriculture worldwide? Would you ever consider raising these magnificent birds yourself? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay with AgriWorks USA as we continue exploring the world's most fascinating stories in modern farming. Welcome back to AgroWorks USA, the channel where we explore the fascinating industries behind our food. With an annual output of over 5.5 million tons, tilapia is quietly surpassing salmon and tuna to become the world's most consumed fish. And in China, where nearly 70% of global production happens, this isn't just traditional fish farming. It's a technological revolution beneath the surface. Billions of tilapia are now raised under the watchful eyes of artificial intelligence. From environmental sensors to machine learning algorithms, advanced systems are feeding fish, managing water quality, and optimizing every detail of their growth. In this video, we'll dive into China's booming tilapia industry, from high-tech breeding and grow-out systems to factory-scale harvesting and export. Along the way, we'll uncover how this humble fish became a global powerhouse and whether this model can sustainably feed the world. If you enjoy stories that reveal the hidden science behind your food, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to AgroWorks USA, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Tilapia farming in China begins with precision breeding. Scientists use gene editing and selective crossbreeding to create broodstock that grow 1.8 times faster and resist disease better than traditional strains. These genetically superior fish lay thousands of eggs, which are fertilized externally. In a unique twist of nature, the female tilapia carries the fertilized eggs in her mouth to protect them, a behavior known as mouth brooding. Once hatched, the larvae are moved into nursery tanks, where water quality is carefully controlled using automated systems. Parameters like pH, oxygen, and temperature are continuously monitored to ensure optimal growth conditions. Aerators and biofilters help maintain water clarity and oxygenation. Nutrition during this phase is critical. The fry are fed high-protein microdiets multiple times a day. Feeding schedules and amounts are adjusted in real time with the help of smart sensors and AI, which analyze fish behavior to prevent overfeeding and minimize waste. By the time they are a month old, the fingerlings are ready for the next stage. Transfer to larger grow-out ponds or high-tech RAS systems. These innovations lay the groundwork for China's dominance in the global tilapia industry. In China's commercial tilapia farms, two primary models dominate: traditional earthen ponds in rural areas and advanced recirculating aquaculture systems, RAS, in industrial zones. While small-scale farmers rely on natural water sources and extensive pond space, large-scale operators are transforming the industry with high-tech precision farming. In modern farms, RAS technology recycles up to 85% of water, allowing for high-density farming, up to 4 times more fish per cubic meter than traditional methods. These closed-loop systems use biological filters to remove waste and maintain ideal water conditions, dramatically reducing environmental impact and water use. AI plays a central role in optimizing operations. Smart cameras and sensors track fish behavior, water quality, and feeding patterns in real time. Machine learning algorithms adjust feed amounts, detect early signs of disease, and minimize antibiotic use by up to 30%. Aerators and oxygen injectors ensure a stable aquatic environment, even at high stocking densities. These integrated systems not only improve productivity, but also allow farms to meet strict export standards from markets like the US and EU. With automation and intelligent management, China's commercial tilapia farming is redefining what's possible in modern aquaculture. Do you think every fish farm in the future will rely on AI and automation? Would you be excited to raise tilapia using cutting-edge technology? Type 1 if you agree, or share your perspective in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update from AgriWorks USA. Maintaining a balanced environment is vital for healthy tilapia growth, especially when raising fish in high-density systems. In both traditional ponds and high-tech farms, managing nutrition, water quality, and hygiene are daily priorities that directly impact survival rates and meat quality. Feeding is carefully planned using nutritionally balanced pellet feeds, rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals to promote fast, uniform growth. AI-assisted systems can automatically adjust feeding schedules and quantities based on real-time monitoring of fish behavior and health indicators, minimizing overfeeding and waste. Water quality is continuously monitored for pH, temperature, ammonia, and dissolved oxygen. Lime powder is often used in ponds to stabilize pH levels and inhibit harmful bacterial growth. In advanced RAS systems, biofiltration units and oxygen injectors keep conditions optimal and consistent, reducing fish stress and mortality. Hygiene protocols are also enforced throughout the production cycle. Equipment is regularly disinfected, and dead or sick fish are promptly removed to prevent disease spread. In many farms, biocontrol measures are adopted to reduce chemical use, including probiotics and natural antibacterial agents. Together, these practices create a stable, healthy environment that supports efficient and sustainable tilapia farming. Harvesting tilapia usually occurs after 6 to 9 months, once the fish reach market size, typically 500 to 800 grams. Timing is key. To ensure freshness, farmers coordinate closely with transport and processing teams. On small farms, tilapia are netted manually, a labor-intensive process requiring skill and precision. Meanwhile, large-scale farms use advanced harvesters capable of collecting up to 12,000 kilograms of fish per hour. These systems use gentle suction to reduce stress and avoid damaging the fish. Once collected, the tilapia are moved into oxygenated tanks or transport trucks. Temperature and oxygen levels are monitored in real time to preserve quality during the journey to processing plants. Larger operations often align harvest timing with factory availability to avoid storage delays. Some even use digital systems to track harvest data for better traceability and quality control. This phase is the result of months of investment, where precision and efficiency determine the final product's value, ensuring that each fish reaches the market in its best condition. Do you think harvesting tilapia is more challenging than it looks? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. At the processing plant, tilapia undergo a carefully orchestrated transformation from live fish to market-ready product. Upon arrival, they are offloaded into controlled holding tanks that maintain optimal temperature and oxygen levels to preserve freshness. The processing line begins with stunning and bleeding to ensure humane handling and meat quality. Workers or automated systems then scale and eviscerate the fish, followed by meticulous filleting. In high-capacity plants, machines can process up to 5,000 fish per hour, with precision cutting systems ensuring uniform fillet size and weight. Fillets are then passed through inspection stages to detect bones and defects. often using X-ray scanners and visual quality control. Next, the fish is quickly chilled or flash frozen to preserve texture and flavor. Depending on the market, tilapia may be vacuum-packed, portioned, or individually quick frozen, IQF for export. Blockchain traceability systems are increasingly adopted to track each batch from farm to table, boosting consumer trust, especially in Western markets. Hygiene protocols are rigorously enforced throughout the facility to meet global food safety standards, ensuring the final product is both safe and premium quality. With a global market worth over $10.2 billion, tilapia has become one of the most traded and consumed fish worldwide. China leads the industry, accounting for nearly 70% of global exports, with key markets including North America, Europe, and Asia. Thanks to its mild flavor, high protein, and low fat, tilapia appeals to a wide range of consumers. From traditional Asian dishes like steamed fish with lemongrass to Western favorites like grilled fillets and fish tacos, its versatility shines. Consumer confidence is also rising due to traceability technologies and sustainability practices. While once considered low-cost, premium tilapia products like antibiotic-free or organic options are now appearing in high-end markets. Tilapia's success isn't just culinary, it's economic. It supports rural livelihoods, fuels export economies, and plays a growing role in global food security. As demand increases, tilapia is becoming a staple not only in everyday meals, but also on upscale restaurant menus around the world. Do you see tilapia gaining a foothold in the premium seafood market? Have you ever had a memorable experience with a tilapia dish? Share your stories with us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to AgriWorks USA for more insights into the future of sustainable agriculture. Tilapia farming, when managed responsibly, can be one of the most environmentally friendly forms of aquaculture. Unlike carnivorous fish, tilapia feed primarily on plants and algae, reducing the need for wild-caught fish meal and lowering pressure on marine ecosystems. Modern systems like RAS, recirculating aquaculture systems, and IPRS, in-pond raceway systems, help conserve water, cutting usage by up to 85%, and limit waste discharge into natural waterways. These closed-loop models also make it easier to control disease, reduce antibiotic use, and avoid harmful chemical runoff. However, large-scale tilapia farming still raises concerns around water pollution, habitat encroachment, and energy use. Without proper waste management and planning, environmental degradation remains a real risk. To ensure long-term sustainability, many farms are adopting certified eco-labels, blockchain traceability, and low-impact farming practices. With the right policies, investment, and monitoring, tilapia can continue to grow as a key protein source, while also supporting cleaner waters and greener food systems. From genetic selection to high-tech harvesting lines, tilapia farming has transformed into a global powerhouse, feeding millions and driving innovation in aquaculture. But beyond the numbers lies a deeper story of how one humble fish has shaped economies, food culture, and sustainability conversations around the world. What surprised you most about the journey of tilapia, from hatchery to your plate? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to follow AgriWorks USA for more behind-the-scenes stories from the world of modern farming and food. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. From Australia's scorching outback, herds of rangeland goats are mustered and shipped across oceans, carrying their meat and milk to Europe's finest tables. In a world searching for sustainable food, the goat, with lean meat, rich milk, and the toughness to thrive in harsh climates, is emerging as a new symbol of global agriculture. Welcome to AgroWorks USA. Though often overlooked, goats are powering one of the fastest growing agricultural trades. Australia produces only 0.4% of the world's goat meat, yet it dominates exports, sending more than 1 million goats abroad each year. At the same time, dairy farms worldwide are turning goat milk into high-value products, from fresh milk to cheeses worth hundreds of dollars per kilogram. From the dusty rangelands to state-of-the-art milking factories, goats reveal a story of resilience, efficiency, and global demand. Stay with us as we explore how this humble animal is shaping the future of farming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories from AgroWorks USA. Across Australia's vast rangelands, more than 2.3 million feral goats roam freely, descendants of animals released by early settlers. Each year, over 1 million are mustered, rounded up by dogs, quad bikes, and even helicopters, before being trucked to abattoirs. This low-input practice, known as rangeland farming, demands little infrastructure and has become the backbone of Australia's goat meat industry. For many farmers, it offers a steady income with minimal management, relying only on skillful mustering and short-term holding facilities. In contrast, a growing share of producers are adopting closed farming systems where goats are raised in climate-controlled barns with carefully regulated temperature, humidity, and nutrition. These intensive operations focus on maximizing milk yields, improving carcass weight, and standardizing quality. Globally, about 20% of goat farms already employ this model, and the number is rising steadily as consumer demand for goat meat and dairy continues to accelerate. Together, the two approaches highlight the goat's remarkable adaptability. In the wild, they endure drought and sparse vegetation. In modern barns, they thrive under careful human management. This dual model, traditional resilience paired with modern efficiency, illustrates how goats are shaping the future of sustainable farming. Keeping goats healthy begins with creating the right environment. Research shows that goats thrive best at 15 to 25, with humidity between 50–70%. In Australia's hot summers, providing constant water is vital to prevent heat stress, while in colder regions, shelter and bedding protect against frostbite. Farmers know that even small changes in climate can affect milk yield and growth rates. Nutrition is equally critical. An adult goat consumes around 2 to 3 pounds of feed per day, a mix of hay, grains, and nutrient-rich seeds. Hay is typically offered twice daily, while cereals are given once in the morning for energy. Kids are weaned after 6 to 8 weeks, and dairy goats usually reach full maturity at about 18 months. Unlike sheep or cattle, goats browse on shrubs, weeds, and a wide range of plants, making them less vulnerable to fluctuations in feed prices. Daily outdoor exercise is essential. Farmers allow goats at least 2 hours outside, often in the early morning or late afternoon, to absorb sunlight and move freely. This simple balance, nutritious feed, fresh air, and adaptable diets keeps goats resilient and productive under diverse conditions. Would you choose to raise goats on natural forage or industrial feed? Do you believe diet directly affects the flavor of goat's milk? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to follow AgroWorks USA. Milking begins soon after a doe gives birth, when lactation naturally follows kidding. Her production peaks during the 21-day estrus cycle, and with proper care, she can deliver consistent yields for many months. On average, a healthy adult produces 3 to 5 liters per session, milked twice daily, totaling 250-300 liters annually. For smallholders, the routine often relies on semi-automatic machines capable of milking about 20 goats at a time, while commercial dairies adopt far more advanced rotary platforms. The rotary system resembles a slow-moving carousel. Goats step onto individual stalls, their udders are cleaned, and suction cups attach automatically. As the platform turns, milk flows steadily through sterile pipelines into chilled tanks. By the time the goats calmly step off, the next group is already in position. At full capacity, a single unit can process 50 goats simultaneously, maximizing efficiency while minimizing stress. Hygiene is vital. Every liter passes through filters and is cooled within minutes to preserve flavor and safety. This seamless blend of tradition and innovation means that whether on family farms or industrial dairies, goat milk is harvested with care and precision. From here, it begins its journey toward becoming cheese, yogurt, butter, or bottled nutrition bound for markets worldwide. Once harvested, goat milk begins a carefully monitored journey toward becoming high-value products. The first step is filtration, where the milk passes through fine cloths or specialized filters to remove impurities. Next, it is gently heated, and rennet enzymes are added to trigger coagulation. Within minutes, the liquid separates into solid curds and liquid whey. The curds are cut into smaller pieces to release excess whey, then gently heated and stirred. After this stage, the mixture is poured into molds, where the cheese takes shape. To preserve flavor and extend shelf life, salt is applied, either rubbed on the surface or mixed into the curds. Finally, the cheeses are aged for 2 to 6 weeks, allowing complex aromas and textures to develop. Beyond cheese, goat milk is also transformed into yogurt, butter, and ice cream, prized for their creamy texture and easy digestibility. Globally, goat cheese production exceeds 2 million tons annually, with Italy, France, Spain, the United States, and Greece leading consumption. From a humble liter of milk to luxury wheels of Pecorino Romano worth $300 per kilogram, the process elevates goat milk into one of the world's most prestigious dairy products. Have you ever witnessed the process of making cheese? Have you ever tasted Italian or French goat cheese? Tell us about your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. At modern abattoirs, goats are first rested to reduce stress, ensuring the best possible meat quality. They then move through controlled corridors into the slaughter area, where the process mirrors that used for sheep but is adapted to the goat's smaller frame. After stunning, the animals are bled, skinned, and eviscerated under strict supervision. Each carcass is washed, trimmed, and carefully inspected to meet international export requirements. Unlike cattle or sheep, goats are rarely broken down into cuts during processing. Instead, the industry focuses on simplicity and efficiency. Nearly 99% of Australia's goat exports leave the country as whole frozen carcasses. This method maximizes shelf life, maintains product integrity, and reduces handling costs for long-distance transport. After rapid chilling and blast freezing, carcasses are vacuum-packed and boxed, ready for export. From regional plants in New South Wales or Queensland, shipments travel thousands of miles to major markets in the United States, South Korea, and the Middle East. In this way, goat meat makes its journey from Australian processing lines to dining tables across the globe, connecting rugged production landscapes with international demand. Despite its modest scale, the goat industry delivers outsized economic value. Australia produces just 0.4% of the world's goat meat, yet it dominates exports, shipping more than 1 million goats each year, and generating nearly 90 million AUD annually from the US market alone. Globally, goat meat commands steady prices, averaging 8.20 AUD per kilogram in 2020, surpassing both beef and lamb. Unlike other livestock, goats fetch a uniform price regardless of age or gender, simplifying trade. On the dairy side, goat milk represents about 10% of total global milk production, with an average farm gate value of $1 to $2 per liter. Its transformation into high-value products like cheese multiplies its worth. The global goat cheese market exceeds 2 million tons annually, and premium varieties such as Italy's Pecorino Romano sell for $200, $300 per kilogram. Market demand is split by region. Goat meat thrives in the United States, the Middle East, and East Asia, while dairy products flourish in Europe and North America. Together, these markets sustain a diverse product range: fresh and frozen meat, milk powders, cheeses, yogurts, and even ice creams. This breadth underscores how goats, though humble in size, power a truly global agricultural enterprise. Which product do you think holds the greatest potential from goats? Meat, milk, or cheese? Do you believe the goat industry could surpass sheep in the next 20 years? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights from AgroWorks USA. Like all agricultural sectors, goat farming faces serious challenges. In Australia, recurring droughts have reduced herds and lowered carcass weights. Goats are more resilient than sheep or cattle, yet prolonged dry conditions still take a toll. Infrastructure adds pressure. Goats are skilled escape artists, forcing farmers to invest in costly, specialized fencing. Ecologically, unmanaged herds can overgraze, stripping shrubs and degrading biodiversity. Consumer habits present another hurdle. Australians consume more lamb than almost any nation, while goat meat remains unfamiliar. Goat milk and cheese, though rising in profile, still lag far behind cow dairy. Overcoming this cultural gap requires education, marketing, and framing goat products as both sustainable and premium. Yet prospects are strong. Global demand for protein is climbing, and goats, hardy, efficient, and climate resilient, fit the future. With research support, including Australia's $3.7 million project with the University of Queensland, the industry is modernizing genetics, welfare, and management. Goats may soon define the next chapter of the sustainable farming. From Australia's dusty rangelands to Europe's refined dining rooms, goats have risen from hardy survivors to global suppliers of meat and cheese. Each year, they provide millions of tons of food, proving that even the toughest climates can yield abundance. In open ranges, they endure drought. In modern barns, they produce milk for high-value cheeses. More than numbers, goats embody adaptability. They thrive where cattle and sheep falter, turning scarce vegetation into sustainable nutrition. As the world seeks resilient food systems, the goat stands ready, not as a marginal species, but as a potential emblem of agriculture's future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories from AgroWorks USA. Thank you for watching. In the United States, a single drop of premium organic honey can be as valuable as a rare gem. Selling for up to $30 per pound, this golden liquid holds more than just sweetness. It carries the story of an extraordinary journey. Behind every jar are billions of fluttering petals, millions of tireless bee flights, and a precise moment when 3 minutes of centrifugal spinning transform an entire season's labor into a cascading stream of liquid gold. Welcome to AgroWorks USA, where we explore the hidden stories of modern farming, rare livestock, and incredible food production from around the world. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of beekeeping, a delicate harmony between nature's most disciplined workers and human skill. From the moment a queen is chosen, to the endless foraging trips of worker bees, to the advanced processing that preserves every drop's purity, this is a journey like no other. So stay tuned, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell, because this is one story you won't want to miss. Beekeeping or apiculture is one of humanity's oldest agricultural practices, with evidence dating back over 9,000 years in ancient cave paintings from Spain. Early civilizations, from Egypt to Mesopotamia and China, valued honey not only as a sweetener, but also as medicine and a sacred offering. By the Middle Ages, beekeeping had spread across Europe, with hives crafted from straw, clay, or hollowed logs. Today, modern apiculture is a global enterprise. China leads the world in honey production, harvesting over 450,000 tons annually, followed by Turkey, Argentina, and Ukraine. In the United States, commercial beekeeping thrives in states like North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and California, where vast fields of clover, alfalfa, and almond orchards provide abundant nectar flows. The industry is not limited to rural landscapes. Urban beekeeping is growing in cities from New York to Paris, with rooftop hives supplying local restaurants and markets. Whether in remote forests, sprawling farmlands, or bustling city centers, bees continue their ancient role, pollinating crops, supporting biodiversity, and producing the golden harvest that has connected people to nature for millennia. Honeybees, Apis mellifera, are among nature's most efficient producers, living in colonies that operate like a single superorganism. A hive consists of one queen, thousands of female worker bees, and a few hundred male drones. The queen's only role is reproduction, laying up to 2,000 eggs a day during peak season. Workers handle all other duties, from foraging and feeding larvae to building and defending the hive, while drones exist solely to mate with queens from other colonies. Honey-making begins when foragers collect nectar using their long, straw-like proboscis, storing it in a special honey stomach where enzymes start breaking down sugars. Back at the hive, the nectar is passed to other workers via trophallaxis, a mouth-to-mouth exchange, and deposited into hexagonal wax cells. Bees then fan their wings to evaporate moisture until the nectar thickens into honey, with water content reduced to around 17–18%. Finally, the cell is sealed with a wax cap, preserving it for months. In optimal conditions, a single colony can produce 10–40 kilograms of honey in one season. Do you know that bees have a special honey stomach just for storing nectar? And do you think the hexagonal design of a honeycomb is nature's most perfect creation? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy stories like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow AgroWorks USA. Successful honey production depends on precise hive management, balancing bee health, productivity, and environmental conditions. Professional beekeepers position hives where nectar-rich flowers are abundant, such as orchards, wildflower meadows, or acacia forests, ensuring year-round forage. Each hive is inspected every 7 to 10 days to check the queen's laying pattern, brood health, and honey stores. Pests and diseases, including varroa mites, wax moths, and foul brood, are controlled using integrated pest management, combining natural treatments, selective breeding for disease resistance, and minimal chemical intervention. Seasonal feeding is critical. In nectar-scarce months, sugar syrup or pollen substitutes are provided to maintain colony strength. High ventilation and temperature are carefully regulated, as excessive heat can damage brood and honey quality. Modern beekeepers often use Langstroth hives with removable frames, which simplify inspection and harvesting without harming comb structure. By tracking hive weight, bee activity, and bloom cycles, beekeepers can predict peak nectar flows, timing their harvest for maximum yield. Well-managed hives can sustain 2 to 3 harvests per year, each producing up to 15 kilograms of high-quality honey. Honey harvest begins only when comb cells are fully capped with wax, an indicator that the moisture content has dropped to the optimal 17–18%, ensuring long-term preservation. Beekeepers start by calming the colony with a gentle puff of cool smoke, triggering the bees' instinct to retreat and gorge on honey, which makes them less defensive. Each honey-laden frame is removed with precision to avoid crushing bees or damaging the wax architecture. In traditional apiaries, a heated knife or uncapping fork slices away the delicate wax caps by hand. In large-scale operations, automated uncapping machines handle dozens of frames per minute with consistent accuracy. The uncapped frames are placed into a centrifugal extractor, spinning at high speeds for 2 to 3 minutes. Centrifugal force pulls honey from the comb without breaking it, allowing the wax to be reused in future harvests. The honey then flows into stainless steel filters where wax fragments, pollen clumps, and other particles are removed. Processing rooms maintain a stable 30–37 degrees to preserve enzymes, aroma, and natural flavor. In mere hours, months of tireless bee labor cascade into thick, golden streams, ready for bottling or bulk trade. Do you think harvesting honey affects the bees? And in your opinion, how many times should honey be harvested in a year? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. After extraction, honey is transferred into stainless steel settling tanks for 48–72 hours. During this rest period, fine wax particles, pollen residues, and air bubbles rise to the surface and are skimmed away, resulting in a clear, uniform texture. In modern facilities, grading is meticulous. Honey is evaluated for moisture content, floral origin, crystallization rate, and color on the Fun scale, which directly influences its market value. Premium raw honey is left unheated to preserve delicate enzymes, antioxidants, and natural aroma, while lightly pasteurized honey is gently warmed to extend shelf life and reduce fermentation risks. Some producers craft specialty products by infusing honey with herbs, dried fruits, or spices, targeting gourmet niches. Packaging formats range from artisanal glass jars for farmers markets, squeezable PET bottles for supermarkets, and 20–50 kilo food-grade drums for bakeries, to industrial totes for beverage and pharmaceutical companies. Beyond table honey, bee byproducts such as pollen, propolis, royal jelly, and beeswax feed into cosmetics, nutraceuticals, and luxury candle markets. This product diversity maximizes the economic value of each hive while expanding honey's reach from traditional culinary uses to global health, beauty, and wellness industries. Beekeeping is far more than a pastoral craft. It's a multi-billion-dollar global industry. The world produces over 1.8 million tons of honey annually, generating an estimated $8 to $10 billion in direct sales. China leads with more than 450,000 tons per year, while the U.S. market alone is valued at over $700 million, driven by growing demand for raw, organic, and specialty floral honeys. Premium organic honey in the U.S. can sell for $20 to $30 per pound, while rare monofloral varieties command even higher prices in gourmet markets. Beyond honey, the pollination services provided by managed hives add an estimated $15 to $20 billion annually to U.S. agriculture, supporting crops from almonds to blueberries. Bee byproducts such as royal jelly, propolis, and beeswax contribute additional high-margin revenue streams in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and nutraceuticals. This combination of direct product sales and indirect agricultural value makes apiculture a cornerstone of rural economies worldwide, sustaining livelihoods, enhancing food security, and linking traditional knowledge with modern, globalized markets. Which country do you think imports the most honey? And if you had the chance, would you start your own beekeeping business? Share your perspective below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth insights from AgroWorks USA. Honeybees are critical to biodiversity, pollinating nearly 75% of global food crops and supporting ecosystems that sustain wildlife. Without their services, yields of staples like coffee, almonds, and citrus could drop by 30–90%, threatening food security worldwide. Yet beekeeping faces mounting sustainability challenges. Pesticide exposure weakens bee immunity, while climate change disrupts flowering cycles, reducing nectar availability. Habitat loss from urbanization and monoculture farming further shrinks forage areas. Global reports show annual colony losses of 20–40% in some regions, forcing farmers to invest heavily in hive maintenance and disease prevention. Sustainable apiculture now focuses on integrated pest management, habitat restoration, and diversified forage planting. By aligning bee health with responsible farming and consumer awareness, the industry can protect both pollinator populations and agricultural productivity, ensuring honey remains not just a product, but a symbol of environmental stewardship. From golden streams of honey to the silent work of pollination, beekeeping is more than an industry. It's a lifeline for agriculture and ecosystems. As demand for premium, organic honey rises and awareness of pollinator conservation grows, the future holds both opportunity and responsibility. Success will depend on innovation in hive management, environmental protection, and global cooperation to safeguard bee populations. Here at AgroWorks USA, we believe every jar of honey tells a story of nature and human dedication. So what's your take? Should governments invest more in pollinator protection? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this journey, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss our next story from the heart of agriculture. From straw-filled nests to the glittering banquet halls of Europe, the goose has shaped one of the most controversial stories in agriculture. Each year, over 400 million geese are raised, fueling an industry worth more than $44 billion. At the heart of it lies foie gras, a dish praised for its golden richness and velvety flavor, yet condemned by critics as a symbol of cruelty. This tension between luxury and ethics has turned goose farming into far more than a business. It is a cultural and economic battleground. Welcome to AgriWorks USA, where we uncover the hidden journeys behind the world's most extraordinary foods. In today's video, we'll follow the path from fragile eggs and growing goslings to the controversial fattening process and the high-end markets that demand this delicacy. Along the way, you'll see not just the methods, but also the debates shaping its future. So join us and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to explore more with AgriWorks USA. The history of foie gras reaches back over 4,000 years, with ancient Egyptian murals showing farmers hand-feeding geese to enlarge their livers. The practice spread to Greece and Rome, where goose liver was considered a delicacy reserved for nobility. By the Middle Ages, it had become a fixture on aristocratic tables across Europe, evolving into one of France's most celebrated traditions. Today, France produces about 70% of the world's foie gras, and the dish is most associated with festive banquets in December, when millions of households serve it as a seasonal luxury. Beyond cuisine, foie gras is recognized by UNESCO as part of French cultural heritage, defended by many as an artisanal craft passed through generations. Yet its meaning is contested, admired for its golden richness and buttery texture, but criticized by animal welfare advocates as a symbol of cruelty. This tension between cultural legacy and modern ethics defines foie gras' unique place in global gastronomy. The journey of foie gras begins in early spring, when geese are encouraged to lay eggs in straw-lined nest boxes that mimic natural habitats. Each egg is carefully collected, numbered, and linked to the parent goose for genetic traceability. In modern farms, eggs are placed in automated incubators kept at 37.5 degrees Celsius, where they are gently rotated and regularly candled with light to monitor embryo growth. After about 30 days of incubation, goslings hatch, weighing just 120 grams and covered in soft yellow down. At this stage, female goslings are often culled, since males are preferred for their size and liver yield. The surviving chicks are moved to heated nurseries with rice husk bedding and infrared lamps, maintained around 30 degrees before gradually cooling to ambient conditions. For the first weeks, their diet consists of ground corn, rice bran, and vitamins, designed to build uniform bone and muscle growth. With daily monitoring, mortality remains relatively low, ensuring a steady supply of strong young birds for later fattening stages. Are you surprised that each goose egg must be incubated at exactly 37.5 hours to hatch successfully? Do you think automatic incubators take away the natural element of farming? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from AgriWorks USA. By the age of 6 weeks, goslings shed their soft yellow down and begin forming adult plumage, their bodies now weighing 3.5 kilograms. At this stage, they graduate from heated nurseries into semi-open pastures or wide pens, where sunlight, fresh air, and access to ponds strengthen their muscles while lowering stress. Farmers recognize that calmer geese not only grow faster, but also develop healthier organs, directly influencing the eventual quality of foie gras. Their diet gradually shifts from a simple starter mash to a carefully balanced, protein-rich blend of corn, rice bran, vegetables, and insects, adjusted weekly to ensure steady weight gain. Routine health checks include vaccinations, mineral supplements, and precise monitoring of flock density. Without such measures, disease can spread quickly and mortality may rise from 5% to 8%, threatening both welfare and profitability. By 10 to 12 weeks, the geese weigh 4 to 5 kilograms with glossy feathers and strong immunity. Though less visible to the public eye, this period of growth is crucial because only well-cared-for birds can endure the demanding, fattening phase ahead, a stage that will ultimately transform them into the source of one of the world's most controversial luxury foods. By the time geese reach 12 to 14 weeks of age, they are ushered into the fattening stage, a process long known as gavage. For 15 to 18 days, keepers deliver 1.2–1.5 kilograms of corn mash per bird each day, around 7 times what a goose would naturally consume. The feed, funneled through a slender metal or plastic tube, takes only seconds to administer, designed to minimize stress while ensuring rapid and uniform liver growth. Within this short window, the transformation is dramatic. A liver that normally weighs 60–80 grams swells to an astonishing 400–600 grams, developing the creamy, buttery texture and golden sheen that make foie gras one of the most prized delicacies in European cuisine. For chefs, it represents mastery of technique and tradition. For animal welfare advocates, it remains a stark reminder of forced excess. Reports highlight strained breathing, restricted mobility, and mortality rates climbing as high as 10% during the cycle. Farmers defend the practice, noting advances in hygiene, automated feeding systems, and constant monitoring to reduce harm. Yet this stage lies at the very heart of a centuries-old controversy, a product exalted on Michelin-starred tables, but condemned by many as a violation of animal dignity. How do you feel knowing that each goose is fed up to 7 times its normal intake in just 18 days? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Once the fattening cycle ends, geese typically weigh 6 to 7 kilograms and are prepared for slaughter. To reduce stress, many farms use CO2 stunning before processing. The birds are then immersed in water heated to about 62 to 65 degrees C, loosening feathers for hand or machine plucking. This careful handling preserves the delicate skin, an essential feature for premium markets. At this stage, skilled workers extract the liver with meticulous precision, evaluating weight, texture, and color. Only those that reach the ideal 400–600 grams, with a pale golden surface free of blemishes, are classified as Grade A foie gras. They are chilled immediately to 0.4 degrees to maintain freshness. Some livers are sliced into 1.52 centimeter cuts and flash frozen at 18 degrees, while others are transformed into pâté. In processing facilities, foie gras is blended with stock, spices, and wine, sealed in sterilized tins, and subjected to high-pressure processing, HPP, for safety and flavor retention. Alongside the prized liver, goose breast, thigh, and wing cuts are vacuum-packed for distribution, while down feathers are sorted for bedding and luxury garments, ensuring nearly every part of the bird enters global markets. Foie gras anchors a global goose farming industry valued at over $44 billion, with annual production around 25,000 tons, nearly 70% of it concentrated in France. In fine dining, premium foie gras commands prices of $40–60 per pound, a golden ingredient that transforms farms into some of Europe's most profitable agricultural enterprises. Yet the liver is only the beginning of the bird's economic story. A mature goose yields 4 to 5 kilograms of meat, with the breast tender and richly flavored, fetching high prices in restaurants and increasingly exported across Asia. Feathers and down, renowned for their lightness and warmth, trade at $100, $150 per kilogram, filling luxury bedding and winter fashion markets. Even rendered goose fat, once a rustic staple, finds its way into gourmet kitchens, artisanal soaps, and cosmetic creams. This near-total utilization, liver to meat, feathers to fat, ensures that goose farming remains not just lucrative, but deeply embedded in rural Europe. In villages where the practice spans generations, every harvest supports local families, ties tradition to commerce, and keeps alive a centuries-old balance of necessity and luxury. Here the goose is more than poultry. It is an economic pillar dressed in feathers. Have you ever tasted foie gras? In your opinion, what keeps this delicacy alive? Massive profits or the weight of European culinary tradition? Share your view below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more insights from AgriWorks USA. Despite its massive economic value, foie gras remains one of the most controversial products in modern agriculture. The heart of the debate lies in the gavage feeding process, where each goose is given up to 1.5 kilograms of ground corn per day through a feeding tube, causing its liver to enlarge 7 to 10 times its natural size. Animal rights organizations argue that this method induces pain, stress, and increases mortality rates to as high as 10% during the short 2 to 3 week fattening period. Countries such as the UK, Germany, and Italy have banned foie gras production, while France and Hungary continue to defend it as a cultural and culinary heritage. Meanwhile, researchers in some farms are experimenting with alternative methods, mimicking the goose's natural tendency to store fat in its liver during migration, rather than relying on forced feeding. These innovations hint at a potential compromise between preserving centuries-old gastronomy and improving animal welfare, though widespread adoption remains a significant challenge. The foie gras industry faces a turning point. While it fuels a $44 billion market, it is increasingly challenged by animal welfare concerns and consumer pressure. Several countries have banned force feeding, yet France continues to defend foie gras as an emblem of cultural heritage. In response, some farms are exploring alternative methods, from leveraging the goose's natural fattening instincts to designing specialized diets that enlarge the liver without gavage. Future trends suggest a divided path. Traditional production will persist for markets that demand authenticity, while ethical foie gras may emerge as a premium choice for consumers seeking both luxury and humane practices. This shift could redefine not only how foie gras is produced, but also how it is perceived, balancing culinary prestige with growing calls for sustainability and compassion. Foie gras continues to shine as a culinary treasure, praised for its elegance and taste, yet questioned for the cost it exacts on animal welfare. Each golden slice represents not only centuries of tradition, but also a modern ethical dilemma. Should indulgence outweigh compassion? As consumers and producers face growing calls for sustainability, the future of foie gras may depend on innovation, finding ways to honor craftsmanship while respecting life. In this balance between heritage and humanity, the story of foie gras becomes more than food. It becomes a mirror of our values. Subscribe to AgriWorks USA, ring the bell, and explore more untold stories of food and farming with us. Thank you for watching. Under the burning sun of Kenya, Donkeys strain to pull water carts, their strength sustaining entire villages. Yet across the ocean, a different story unfolds. Inside modern factories, these same animals step onto cold conveyor lines, stunned, bled, skinned, and frozen. Each year, more than 4 million hides vanish, transformed into ajiao, a luxury medicine that elevates the donkey's value far beyond its humble labor. Welcome to AgriWorks USA, where we uncover the hidden realities of global agriculture and food production. Today, we journey into the controversial world of donkey farming and processing, a trade that stretches from African rangelands to Chinese pharmaceutical factories. We'll explore how donkeys provide not only meat and milk, but also skins worth hundreds of dollars each, fueling a billion-dollar industry. So join us as we reveal the untold story of how this resilient animal, once a symbol of toil, has become a contested icon of profit. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the hidden truths behind your food. Donkey farming today operates on two very different scales. In much of Africa, particularly Kenya and Niger, donkeys are still raised under extensive systems. Herds graze freely across arid rangelands, subsisting on thorny shrubs and dry grasses where other livestock would starve. Farmers invest little in infrastructure or feed. Instead, the animals provide vital labor, hauling water, transporting goods, and occasionally supplying meat or hides for local markets. This model reflects centuries of coexistence between people and donkeys in some of the harshest climates on Earth. Half a world away, however, intensive farming models are reshaping the industry. In China, large-scale facilities house thousands of donkeys in climate-controlled barns. Carefully balanced diets of hay, maize, and supplements aim to maximize growth rates, milk yields, and hide quality. Veterinary oversight ensures low mortality and higher productivity. In Europe, especially Italy and France, smaller intensive farms specialize in dairy. Italy alone produces about 40,000 liters of donkey milk each year, valued for its hypoallergenic qualities and use in cosmetics. Together, these two systems, low-input survival farming and high-input industrial agriculture, demonstrate the donkey's extraordinary adaptability, anchoring its role in both traditional livelihoods and modern global markets. Despite their reputation for toughness, donkeys need careful management to remain healthy and productive. In rural Africa, many survive on thorny scrub, crop residues, and dry grass, their efficient digestive systems extracting nutrients from forage that cattle could not use. But long droughts still weaken them, causing weight loss, infertility, and exhaustion for families that depend on them to haul water or goods. Intensive farms in China and Europe follow stricter regimens. A balanced ration typically includes hay for fiber, maize or barley for energy, and soybean meal for protein. Clean water is essential. A working donkey may drink 15-20 liters daily, particularly in hot climates. Salt and mineral blocks prevent calcium and phosphorus deficiencies that can damage bones and hooves. Basic veterinary care, tetanus vaccinations, parasite control, and regular hoof trimming further safeguards welfare. Animal welfare has become central to modern management. Overworked donkeys often suffer wounds and lameness, prompting research into precision feeding systems and ergonomic harnesses. These innovations reveal a key truth. Sustainable donkey farming is not about pushing animals to their limits, but ensuring they can work, reproduce, and thrive over a long, healthy lifespan. Do you think the cost of feeding donkeys is cheaper or more expensive compared to cattle or sheep? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to follow AgriWorks USA. The journey from farm to factory transforms the donkey from working animal to commercial product. Once they reach market weight, usually at 2 to 4 years, donkeys are transported in specialized trucks designed to reduce stress. Upon arrival at the abattoir, they are rested in water to stabilize body temperature and improve meat quality. The slaughter line operates with precision. Donkeys are guided through narrow corridors to the stunning area, where they are rendered unconscious before bleeding. Skinners carefully remove the hide, valued separately for ejiao, while ensuring the carcass remains intact. Internal organs are removed, inspected, and either discarded or redirected for secondary uses. The carcass is then washed and trimmed, passing through a sequence of hygiene checkpoints under veterinary supervision. Unlike cattle or pigs, donkey meat is typically processed as whole carcasses. After rapid chilling, they are blast frozen to below. You're at 18 degrees Celsius, vacuum-packed and boxed for export. Nearly all exports from African and Asian plants are shipped in this form, extending shelf life for long journeys to Asia and Europe. This streamlined yet rigorous process reflects the donkey's dual role: a humble beast of burden at home, but an increasingly globalized commodity abroad. The transformation of donkey products begins with milk, one of the rarest commodities in animal farming. Because a jenny produces only 0.51 liter per day, milking is performed carefully, often by hand or with small-scale suction devices designed for delicate udders. Each session requires strict hygiene. Udders are washed, first streams discarded, and the milk quickly filtered into sterile containers. To prevent bacterial growth, it is chilled within minutes, then pasteurized at low temperatures to preserve nutrients. From this stage, dairies channel the milk into fresh bottles or further process it into cheese, yogurt, or freeze-dried powder for cosmetic use. The hide undergoes a far more complex journey. Once removed during slaughter, skins are cleaned of residual fat and flesh, then stretched and dried in controlled environments to prevent spoilage. In China, these dried hides are boiled for hours to extract collagen. The liquid is filtered, concentrated, and cooled into gelatinous blocks. This substance is then cut, dried again, and refined into ejiao, a solid resin. Modern factories employ stainless steel tanks, vacuum evaporators, and quality checks to ensure consistency. Yet the method still echoes ancient traditions of boiling and solidifying donkey hide. From sterile dairies to simmering vats, processing turns perishable resources into durable, tradable products ready for global markets. Did you know a single donkey hide can sell for as much as $300, $500? Would you choose to use ejiao if it were marketed as a health booster? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. The global donkey economy thrives on rarity. Unlike cattle or goats, donkeys reproduce slowly, just one foal per year, making both milk and hides scarce and valuable. Donkey milk can reach $30 per liter in Europe, marketed as a luxury product in gourmet foods and high-end cosmetics. Similarly, hides for ejiao command $300, $500 each in China, where annual demand exceeds 4 million skins, far outstripping domestic supply. This gap has shifted sourcing to Africa, particularly Kenya, Niger, and Ethiopia, which have become major exporters despite rising concerns over animal welfare and sustainability. Meanwhile, specialized dairies in Italy and France focus on premium milk, cheese, and skincare, branding donkey milk as a niche alternative for health-conscious consumers. Though less prominent, donkey meat is also part of this growing market. In parts of Africa and Central Asia, it is consumed locally, while exports increasingly target Asia and the Middle East, where leaner proteins are gaining popularity. Together, these products have transformed the donkey's role from a beast of burden into a global commodity, linking rural farms and abattoirs to billion-dollar supply chains and international luxury markets. The rapid commercialization of donkeys has raised profound ethical concerns. Once valued as loyal work animals, they are now often reduced to raw materials, processed for milk, meat, and especially hides. In China, the booming Ejiao industry drives the slaughter of millions each year, sparking criticism from animal welfare groups who argue that donkeys are sentient beings, deserving of protection, not exploitation. The ethical dilemma deepens in Africa, where donkeys are vital for rural households, transporting water and goods. When they are sold or stolen for export markets, families, especially women, lose their only means of livelihood. Meanwhile, in industrial plants, animal rights advocates question whether stunning, bleeding, and skinning donkeys on assembly lines can ever be humane, even with modern regulations. Balancing cultural traditions, economic incentives, and animal welfare creates a difficult moral equation. For many, the donkey's shift from companion and helper to commodity feels like a betrayal of trust. Do you think exploiting donkeys for their hides to make Ejiao is ethical? Share your opinion below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get more insights from AgroWorks USA. Donkey farming presents both promise and peril for the environment. Unlike cattle or sheep, donkeys are resource efficient. They need little water, survive on sparse forage, and thrive in deserts where other livestock fail. This adaptability makes them a crucial ally in a warming world. Yet rising demand for donkey hides, especially for Ejiao, has tipped the balance. In many African nations, donkeys are slaughtered faster than they can reproduce, eroding local herds and biodiversity. Left unmanaged, herds also risk overgrazing, stripping shrubs, exposing soil, and driving desertification. The processing stage deepens the strain. Abattoirs and hide-boiling plants consume heavy amounts of water and energy, while untreated effluents pollute rivers and farmland. What emerges is a paradox. The donkey's ecological resilience is undeniable, but the environmental burden of industrial exploitation poses one of the greatest challenges to its future. As donkeys move from dusty village tracks to high-tech factories, their future hangs in balance between survival and exploitation. On one side, they remain vital partners for rural families. On the other, global demand for meat, milk, and Ejiao drives industrial-scale processing. The challenge ahead lies in finding a sustainable middle ground, where economic value does not eclipse welfare and ecosystems. With rising debates on ethics and environmental costs, the donkey industry faces a turning point. Innovate responsibly or risk backlash and decline. If you found this journey eye-opening, share your thoughts in the comments. Should donkeys remain working animals or global commodities? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join AgroWorks USA in uncovering the hidden truths of farming worldwide. prairie awakens in fire and thunder. At dawn, the roar of longhorns rolls across the horizon like a storm, while hundreds of russet bodies surge forward, horns carving arcs of steel against the morning sky. It is more than a spectacle of nature. It is a living heritage. Welcome to AgriWorks USA, where we take you inside the world's most extraordinary farms and food industries. Today we journey into the realm of longhorn cattle, an animal that is as much a symbol as it is a source of survival. From sacred African rituals to the legendary cattle drives of the American West, the longhorn has shaped cultures, sustained economies, and carved its place at the center of global agriculture. Behind the thundering herds lies an industry of staggering scale: ranching, slaughterhouses, logistics, and markets worth billions. So join us as we uncover the full story of the longhorn, icon of resilience, trade, and tradition. And if you love discovering how the world's food is truly made, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from AgriWorks USA. The longhorn story stretches across continents and centuries. Its earliest roots lie in Africa, where the Ankole breed, with horns like polished ivory spears, was more than livestock. Among tribes, they were currency, dowry, and sacred offering, living banks whose value measured wealth, honor, and survival. In the 16th century, Spanish conquistadors carried cattle across the Atlantic. On the wild frontiers of North America, they adapted into a new icon, the Texas longhorn. Lean, resilient, and able to survive where others failed, these cattle became the backbone of ranchers and the legends of cattle drives, fueling both settlement and folklore of the American West. Today, the breed thrives in two worlds. Africa remains home to nearly 7.3 million Ankole cattle, concentrated in Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya. The United States manages more than 270,000 Texas longhorns, preserved as heritage stock, yet increasingly valued for specialty beef and crossbreeding programs. And beyond headcounts, the market speaks louder. Longhorn beef and genetics contribute to an industry worth billions of dollars, spanning auctions, breeding associations, and global trade. From tribal ceremonies to Wall Street figures, the longhorn has evolved into both cultural treasure and economic asset. Across the savannas of East Africa, Ankole longhorn cattle live as much in tradition as in the present. Each dawn, herds emerge from simple roofless enclosures, no concrete feedlots, only wooden stakes and smoke fires lit to smoke fires' lids. Then they spill onto the grasslands, guided by herders who walk barefoot through dew-soaked fields. Unlike industrial systems, African longhorns graze almost entirely on natural forage. Fresh grasses, crop residues, and roughage like banana leaves or millet stems sustain them through the seasons. Water is stored in rain tanks or dugout canals, and when drought strikes, families drive cattle miles to find pasture, turning survival into a communal act. This system is extensive, low input, and deeply woven into culture. Herds often number in dozens or hundreds, yet remain small compared to American ranches. The cattle grow slower, lighter. An adult bull averages 100 pounds, nearly a third less than Angus, but their value transcends meat. They are wealth, dowry, and social status, traded at weddings and honored in ceremonies. Here, the longhorn is not merely livestock, it is heritage on four legs, a living bond between people, land, and survival. Do you think natural grazing is more sustainable than industrial farming? And if you had the chance, would you want to experience the daily life of herders in Uganda? Share your thoughts with me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next stories from AgriWorks USA. In the vast ranch lands of Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, longhorn cattle roam across thousands of acres beneath a sky as wide as history itself. Unlike the small-scale herding of East Africa, American ranches are expansive enterprises, fenced yet open, designed to let cattle graze naturally while remaining under careful management. Here, the longhorn is both heritage and business. By the end of 2022, the U.S. maintained about 273,000 Texas longhorns, a fraction compared to industrial breeds like Angus, but significant as a cultural and genetic reservoir. Some ranches keep herds purely for conservation, preserving the breed's legendary horns and adaptability. Others balance tradition with profit, selling beef, hides, and live cattle for crossbreeding. The ranch model relies on modern tools, rotational grazing, veterinary monitoring, and sometimes even drones to track wandering animals. Yet its spirit is preservation. The Longhorn, once nearly lost to crossbreeding, is now sustained by ranchers who see value in leaner meat, hardy genetics, and tourism appeal. On these sun-scorched plains, the Longhorn is not just a commodity, it is a living monument to the American frontier, straddling the line between agriculture, conservation, and cultural identity. Beneath their iconic horns lies a biology finely tuned by centuries of survival. Longhorn cattle are remarkable not only for their endurance, but also for the way they reproduce and thrive under minimal human intervention. A heifer typically reaches breeding age around 2 to 3 years old, later than many commercial breeds, reflecting their slower, steadier growth. The gestation lasts about 280–290 days, culminating in a single calf, rarely twins, that can weigh 65–90 pounds at birth. These calves are born strong, able to stand and nurse within hours, a trait honed by generations in harsh landscapes where weakness meant death. Growth is gradual yet steady. In their first 6 months, calves can gain 1 to 2 pounds per day, reaching 450–650 pounds by their first year. While smaller than heavily bred Angus or Holstein, Longhorns compensate with extraordinary hardiness. They resist many diseases, tolerate drought, and maintain fertility under conditions that would challenge other breeds. Each sweeping horn, sometimes stretching over 8 feet tip to tip, is not merely ornament but a survival tool, defense against predators, and a symbol of dominance during mating rituals. Biology, tradition, and resilience converge in every new generation born onto the grasslands. What advantages do you think Longhorn cattle have compared to industrial breeds? Let us know in the comments below. At the slaughterhouse, the journey of the Longhorn shifts from thundering hooves to the hum of steel and precision. Animals arrive after long drives or truck transport, rested in holding pens to reduce stress, a factor proven to improve both meat quality and animal welfare. The process is highly regulated. Each step, from stunning to bleeding, follows strict guidelines designed to ensure humane handling. Once the hide is removed, the massive frames of the Longhorn are split, revealing lean red muscles streaked with just enough marbling to distinguish them from other breeds. Compared with Angus, the carcasses are typically lighter, averaging 500–600 pounds of retail cuts, but prized for their low-fat, natural flavor and dense protein content. Inside modern plants, automation works hand-in-hand with skilled butchers. High-speed saws halve carcasses, while conveyor lines carry primal cuts toward stations where workers trim, portion, and prepare them for packaging. In smaller, heritage-focused facilities, the pace is slower, preserving traditional butchering that highlights the uniqueness of each Longhorn carcass. By the end, what began as a symbol of the open range is transformed into boxed beef, steaks, and ribs bound for restaurants, retailers, and global export markets. From the butcher's block, Longhorn beef enters a marketplace where heritage and economics collide. Unlike Angus or Wagyu, Longhorn is not mass-produced. It occupies a niche but growing segment. In the United States, only around 45,000 head are processed annually, a fraction of the multi-million Angus industry. Yet this scarcity fuels its appeal. Restaurants promote Longhorn steaks as lean, all-natural, and deeply tied to the lore of the American West, often pricing them 20–30% higher than conventional beef. In Africa, particularly Uganda and Rwanda, Ankole Longhorn beef is equally symbolic. Herds are smaller and slaughter numbers higher, about 2.7 million annually. But much of the trade happens in local markets. There, meat is not just food, but also cultural capital, tied to weddings, festivals, and displays of wealth. Beyond meat, Longhorn hides feed into a lucrative leather trade, especially in luxury goods where durability and striking horn motifs command premium value. Horns themselves are carved into crafts or sold as decorative items. In this way, Longhorn cattle generate more than calories. They generate stories, identity, and income streams that stretch from dusty village markets to fine dining tables in New York. Do you believe cultural value strongly influences the price of Longhorn beef? Have you ever tried a dish made from longhorn meat? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you care about a sustainable agriculture, make sure to like this video and subscribe to AgroWorks USA. Beyond their cultural aura, longhorns carry an ethical weight. Advocates note that both Texas and ankle herds often live freer than industrial feedlot cattle, roaming vast pastures, feeding on natural grass, and reaching maturity at a slower pace. Such conditions suggest dignity in life before slaughter. Still, the question lingers: can freedom erase the reality of death? In Africa, over 2.7 million ankole longhorns are killed annually, often with minimal welfare oversight. In the U.S., ranches proudly brand longhorns as heritage icons, yet most still end on conventional processing lines. Critics see a contradiction between romantic storytelling and industrial outcomes. Globally, consumers now weigh labels like grass-fed or humane certified as markers of conscience. For some, tradition justifies the practice. For others, it is not enough. The longhorn stands at this crossroads, living symbol of resilience, yet subject to humanity's shifting moral compass. The longhorn's legacy extends beyond pastures to landscapes and livelihoods. In the U.S., vast ranches sprawl across Texas and Oklahoma, where rotational grazing helps prevent soil erosion and supports prairie ecosystems. Their lighter grazing footprint compared to heavier breeds makes longhorns a surprising ally in land conservation. Yet methane emissions remain unavoidable, feeding debates over cattle's role in climate change. In Africa, ankole herds are more than livestock. They are wealth, dowries, and social status. Over 7 million cattle sustain millions of households, providing milk, meat, and cultural identity. However, overgrazing near villages can degrade land and strain water supplies, raising tensions with conservation areas. For both continents, longhorns embody a paradox. They fuel economies and nourish traditions, yet also challenge ecosystems under modern pressures. The balance between heritage, livelihood, and sustainability will shape whether these iconic herds thrive or burden the generations ahead. From the dusty plains of Uganda to the sprawling ranches of Texas, longhorn cattle endure as living monuments of resilience. Their sweeping horns and untamed spirit carry centuries of history, weaving together culture, economy, and identity across continents. Today, they are more than meat or trade. They are symbols of survival, heritage, and pride, admired on pastures, in markets, and even in festivals. But as climate, ethics, and consumer choices evolve, the longhorn's future rests on how we balance tradition with sustainability. Will this iconic breed remain a cultural treasure and economic asset, or fade under modern pressures? What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from AgroWorks USA. Every day in the United States, hundreds of thousands of pigs step onto slaughter lines. In just a few minutes, life becomes crimson cuts of meat, adding to a staggering total of more than 120 million pigs processed each year, a scale that makes America's pork industry one of the most powerful food machines on the planet. Welcome to AgroWorks USA. In this episode, we take you deep inside that machine. From the vast industrial barns where pigs are born and raised, to the automated systems that feed, water, and monitor them around the clock. We'll reveal how modern farms use advanced genetics, strict disease control, and data-driven nutrition to maximize both growth and efficiency. Then we'll step inside the slaughterhouse, where laser-guided cutters, conveyor belts, and cold chain packaging transform livestock into products ready for kitchens from Tokyo to Mexico City. This is more than farming. It's the story of scale, precision, and the global economy built on pork. Join us on this journey, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to discover more hidden worlds of food with AgroWorks USA. Across the United States, pig farming has evolved into one of the most industrialized forms of agriculture, an operation where millions of animals are managed with the precision of a supply chain. At any given time, the U.S. maintains a herd of more than 70 million pigs, ranking among the top 3 pork producers worldwide. Iowa alone raises close to 1/3 of the nation's pigs, while Minnesota, North Carolina, Illinois, and Indiana form additional pillars of production, together creating a backbone for both domestic consumption and international trade. Most modern farms operate on a closed, large-scale model, housing thousands, or in some cases, tens of thousands, of pigs inside climate-controlled barns. Within these environments, temperature, airflow, and lighting are carefully engineered to optimize growth and reduce disease outbreaks. Facilities are divided into specialized phases: breeding, farrowing for piglets, growing, and finishing. Each stage designed for maximum efficiency and strict biosecurity. Although small family farms persist, the sector is now dominated by vertically integrated corporations that control genetics, feed, and slaughterhouses. This concentration guarantees uniformity and export power, but it also raises questions about sustainability, corporate dominance, and the survival of independent farmers. Feeding America's pigs is both a science and a balancing act of cost, growth, and quality. At the core of their diet lies corn and soybean meal, crops grown abundantly across the Midwest. These staples are mixed with protein supplements, vitamins, and minerals to create a precise formula that promotes rapid weight gain and lean muscle. In some systems, byproducts from the food and ethanol industries are added, turning waste streams into valuable feed. Automation plays a critical role. Modern barns use computer-controlled systems that dispense feed and water on schedule, ensuring every animal receives the exact ration needed. This precision reduces waste and keeps growth consistent across thousands of pigs. Yet challenges remain. Feed accounts for 60–70% of total production costs, tying farmers to global grain markets and price volatility. A spike in corn or soybean prices can ripple through the industry, raising pork costs worldwide. In this way, each pork chop on a plate carries not only calories, but also the weight of global agriculture and economics. Do you know that 60–70% of the cost of raising pigs comes from feed? Does that number surprise you? And do you think a diet of corn and soybeans alone is enough to produce high-quality pork? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to AgroWorks USA for more stories like this. Behind the walls of America's pig barns, health and reproduction are managed with the precision of a laboratory. Disease prevention is a constant priority. Pigs are routinely vaccinated against illnesses such as swine influenza and foot and mouth disease, while strict biosecurity protocols, from disinfected boots to air filtration, aim to keep deadly threats like African swine fever out of U.S. herds. Reproduction itself is highly engineered. Artificial insemination accounts for more than 90% of breeding, allowing producers to select genetics that favor fast growth, lean meat, and feed efficiency. Sows are housed in specialized facilities where temperature, humidity, and even lighting are adjusted to optimize fertility and piglet survival. Once piglets are born, heat lamps and infrared bulbs keep them warm in their first fragile days. Increasingly, sensors and IoT devices monitor not only barn conditions, but also the pigs themselves, tracking movement, feeding behavior, and weight gain. This marriage of biology and technology delivers efficiency on a massive scale, but it also underscores how far pig farming has moved from the rhythms of nature. Once pigs reach market weight, around 280 pounds, they leave the farm and enter one of America's massive slaughter facilities, where efficiency meets cold precision. The process begins with stunning, typically through CO2 chambers or electrical current, designed to render the animals unconscious before processing. From there, the line moves swiftly. Pigs are bled, dehaired, and eviscerated in a matter of minutes. Their bodies transformed from living creatures into uniform carcasses gliding down stainless steel rails. Technology drives every step. Automated knives, hydraulic saws, and robotic cutters perform tasks once done by hand, while cameras and AI systems scan carcasses to ensure quality and identify defects. Food safety is safeguarded by the HACCP system and constant USDA inspection, making sure every cut meets strict health standards. In plants that can process up to 20,000 pigs per day, speed is everything. Yet so is consistency. What emerges at the end of the line is not just meat, but the product of an industrial ballet choreographed down to the second. Do you believe CO2 stunning is truly more humane than other methods? And if you had the chance to tour a modern slaughterhouse, would you be brave enough to go inside? Let us know in the comments. I'd really love to hear your perspective. From the slaughter line, pork enters the final stage of its industrial journey: packaging and distribution. Carcasses are broken down into primal and retail cuts, then sealed using vacuum packaging or modified atmosphere systems that extend shelf life and preserve freshness. Each package is tagged with a traceable code or QR label, linking it back to the farm, barn, and batch where the pig was raised, an assurance demanded by both regulators and global buyers. Cold storage is the backbone of this system. Pork is rapidly chilled to below 40 degrees, then moved through an unbroken cold chain that stretches from U.S. processing plants to supermarket shelves in Asia, Europe, and Latin America. The scale is staggering. America exports pork to over 100 countries, accounting for 15% of global trade. But packaging is more than preservation, it's branding. Whether it's a vacuum-sealed loin bound for Tokyo or bacon destined for a Midwestern diner, each cut represents not only protein, but also America's promise of consistency, safety, and efficiency delivered across oceans. Pork in the United States is more than food. It's a business worth over $20 billion annually. Roughly a quarter of all pork produced is exported, with China, Mexico, Japan, and South Korea ranking among the top buyers. This global demand stabilizes farm incomes at home, while also tying U.S. producers to the shifting tides of international trade disputes and tariffs. Domestically, pork remains the second most consumed meat after chicken, with bacon, ham, and sausages deeply woven into American food culture. The industry thrives on its reputation for consistency and safety, a result of USDA oversight and decades of refining standardized production. Yet consumer preferences are evolving. More shoppers are seeking organic, antibiotic-free, or humanely raised labels, pushing producers to adapt while still keeping prices competitive. Competition is fierce. Low-cost producers from Brazil and Europe challenge U.S. dominance, while rising feed and energy costs squeeze profit margins. In the end, every cut of pork represents a delicate balance between economics, efficiency, and consumer trust. Do you think organic pork is worth paying more for? And will no antibiotic pork become the global standard within the next 10 years? We'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay connected with AgroWorks USA, where we uncover the real stories behind your food. Behind the efficiency of America's pork industry lies a heavier cost: its environmental footprint. Modern barns house thousands of pigs under one roof, generating immense volumes of manure and wastewater. Some of this is recycled as fertilizer or turned into biogas. Yet mismanagement can pollute rivers, overload soils with nitrogen, and release greenhouse gases like methane and nitrous oxide. In states such as North Carolina, open waste lagoons have triggered lawsuits and community protests over odor, air, and water quality. Economically, sustainability comes at a steep price. Farmers must invest in stricter waste management systems, renewable energy, and environmental compliance, while also battling volatile global grain markets. Feed alone accounts for 60–70% of production costs, leaving producers exposed to price swings far beyond their control. The result is clear. The true cost of pork stretches far past the supermarket shelf, reflecting hidden trade-offs between profit, pollution, and responsibility. Beyond economics and the environment, America's pork industry faces growing ethical scrutiny. In industrial barns, pigs often spend their lives in crowded pens or gestation crates with little freedom of movement. Conditions critics say cause stress and compromise welfare. These realities fuel debate over whether efficiency can truly justify such trade-offs. Meanwhile, consumer expectations are shifting. More shoppers demand pork labeled antibiotic-free, organic, or humanely raised. In response, restaurants and major retailers have pledged to phase out controversial practices, pressuring producers to meet higher welfare standards. Though costlier to maintain, these systems grant access to premium markets and align with a cultural trend where food reflects not only taste, but also values. Ultimately, the ethical dimension of pig farming reveals a society wrestling with choices: mass-produced abundance versus humane, sustainable methods. Each strip of bacon is no longer just a meal, it's a mirror of the priorities consumers embrace. From the cornfields of Iowa to the supermarket shelves of Tokyo, American pork tells a story of scale, technology, and controversy. It is the product of industrial precision, millions of pigs raised, processed, and shipped with efficiency unmatched anywhere else. Yet behind this achievement lie difficult questions: the burden of waste on rivers, the volatility of feed costs, and the ethical debate over raising animals in confinement. For consumers, every cut of pork carries meaning beyond taste. It reflects choices about economy, environment, and morality. Choices shaping the future of global food. So what do you think? Should efficiency outweigh welfare, or can a better balance be struck? Share your thoughts and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from AgroWorks USA. Welcome back to AgriWorks USA, the channel where we uncover the real stories behind the world's most extraordinary foods. $30,000 for a cow, $200 for a single pound of meat. Wagyu isn't just beef, it's a global luxury icon. But do cows really get daily massages and listen to classical music? Or are these just myths wrapped around the world's most expensive meat? In today's episode, we'll dive into the world of Wagyu cattle, from Japan's quiet countryside to the global race for premium beef. You'll discover why these cows are raised with unmatched care, what gives their meat such rich marbling, and how strict regulations protect its legendary status. We'll also explore the rise of American and Australian Wagyu and whether these international rivals can match the original. If you've ever wondered what truly makes Wagyu worth the hype and the price, this is a story you won't want to miss. Like this video and subscribe to AgriWorks USA for more deep dives into food, farming, and the price of perfection. Don't forget to ring the bell. Wagyu literally means Japanese cow and refers to 4 native breeds that have been selectively bred for centuries: Japanese black, Japanese brown, Japanese shorthorn, and Japanese polled. Among these, Japanese black, especially the Tajima strain, is the most prized, known for producing the finest marbling in the beef world. Originally used as draft animals, Wagyu cattle were bred for endurance, which led to higher intramuscular fat deposits, giving their meat that iconic buttery texture and pink marbled appearance. Unlike Western breeds, Wagyu fat is evenly distributed within the muscle, not just around it, resulting in an unmatched tenderness. Each purebred Wagyu cow is registered in a centralized database managed by the Japanese government, with lineage, medical history, and quality ratings meticulously tracked to ensure genetic integrity. Outside of Japan, countries like the US, Australia, and the UK have introduced crossbred Wagyu, usually combining Japanese bloodlines with Angus. While these hybrids are more accessible, they rarely match the purity and richness of authentic Japanese Wagyu. Wagyu's origin is not just genetic, it's a story of tradition, precision, and national pride. The journey of Wagyu beef begins with a tightly controlled breeding model. In Japan, specialized breeders are responsible for raising calves during their first 8 to 10 months, a phase focused on health, growth, and future fat potential. These calves are often born to purebred Tajima cows, and genetic records are meticulously maintained to preserve lineage and traits. During this early phase, calves are often bottle-fed or hand-fed with high-quality milk replacers, specially formulated to promote slow, steady development. This personalized care helps reduce stress, build trust with caretakers, and establish strong immunity. Living conditions are kept exceptionally clean and calm. Pens are lined with soft straw or sawdust to reduce joint stress, and each calf is groomed regularly to encourage relaxation. Some breeders even believe that emotional bonding and a peaceful environment contribute to higher quality marbling later on. Once the calves reach the desired weight and maturity, they are sold at auction, where top-quality individuals can fetch up to 40 times the value of standard beef cattle. From here, they enter the next phase of life, a carefully managed fattening system designed to transform them into luxury-grade Wagyu. What impressed you most about the early stage of raising Wagyu calves? Would you be interested in working at a Wagyu farm to experience the process from the very beginning? Type 1 if that's something you'd love to try, or share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update from AgriWorks USA. Once auctioned, Wagyu calves enter a meticulously managed fattening phase that lasts up to 600 days, far longer than conventional cattle. During this time, they are housed in individual or small group pens to minimize stress and allow for personalized care. The goal is to develop intramuscular fat, the signature marbling that makes Wagyu world famous. Their diet is a carefully balanced blend of rice straw, barley, corn, soybean meal, wheat bran, and gluten feed, adjusted through each stage of growth. Many farms enhance flavor and digestion with additions like beer mash, black vinegar, or even koji mold. Feeding is done 2 to 3 times a day in small portions to maintain calm digestion and consistent weight gain. Wagyu cattle are rarely allowed to graze. Instead, they spend most of their lives in clean, well-ventilated barns where temperature and humidity are controlled. Some farms even use music or gentle brushing to keep the animals relaxed. By the end of this phase, a premium Wagyu cow may weigh 700–800 kg with nearly 50% body fat, a level of marbling unmatched in the beef industry. Wagyu cattle are only selected for slaughter once they reach peak maturity, typically between 28 and 36 months, when marbling, fat distribution, and body weight align perfectly with industry standards. Before processing, each animal undergoes rigorous health screenings, ensuring it meets strict benchmarks for calm temperament, muscle condition, and overall quality. These measures not only protect consumer safety, but also preserve the hallmark tenderness and flavor of Wagyu. Slaughter follows humane handling protocols to minimize stress, which can affect meat texture and color. After butchering, carcasses are chilled and dry or wet-aged in temperature-controlled storage, often for 14 to 30 days, to enhance tenderness and concentrate the beef's rich umami profile. Highly skilled butchers, trained to preserve intricate marbling, break down each carcass into premium cuts such as ribeye, tenderloin, sirloin, and strip loin. Each cut is vacuum sealed or carefully wrapped to maintain freshness, with traceability codes for transparency. Grading is carried out by certified inspectors under Japan's dual-scale system, yield grade, AC, and quality grade, 1 to 5. Only A4 and A5 meet the highest standard, with iconic regional brands like Kobe, Matsusaka, and Miyazaki adding another layer of exclusivity to this globally coveted beef. Do you think grading Wagyu based on marbling and tenderness turns it into a form of art? Have you ever tasted A5 grade Wagyu? What was your experience like? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Wagyu has evolved from a local delicacy into a global luxury brand. In Japan alone, export revenues surged from 5 billion yen in 2013 to over 24.7 billion yen, reflecting booming demand in the US, China, the Middle East, and beyond. A single high-grade Wagyu cow can be worth up to $30,000, and its meat often sells for $200 to $300 per pound at elite restaurants worldwide. This staggering value is rooted in culinary prestige. Revered for its rich marbling, buttery softness, and deep umami, Wagyu requires no elaborate preparation, just a sprinkle of salt and precise heat to reveal its full potential. It's equally celebrated in steak cuts, sushi, shabu-shabu, or tataki. Subtypes like Kobe, Matsusaka, and Miyazaki take exclusivity even further, governed by rigid certification standards and served in only a handful of licensed restaurants globally. For chefs, Wagyu is a canvas of perfection. For diners, it's a once-in-a-lifetime flavor experience. In every slice, Wagyu delivers more than just meat. It offers a taste of heritage, refinement, and indulgence. Wagyu cattle are often portrayed as living a pampered life, receiving massages, listening to classical music, and being hand-fed. While some of these practices exist, they're not universal. What's consistent, however, is the industry's emphasis on low-stress environments. Individual stalls, soft bedding, regular grooming, and attentive care all contribute to animal calmness and comfort. Yet this care raises ethical debates. Critics question whether restricting cows to small pens for long fattening periods, even with comfort, still aligns with true animal welfare. Furthermore, the genetic selection for extreme marbling, essentially breeding cows to be 50% fat, raises concerns about long-term health impacts on the animals themselves. Supporters argue that Wagyu cows are treated better than most livestock globally, and that their elevated value incentivizes farmers to maintain high welfare standards. Ultimately, while Wagyu farming avoids many industrial cruelties, it walks a fine line between indulgent care and ethical compromise. If you knew a Wagyu cow lived a happy life before slaughter, would that make you feel more comfortable eating the meat? Do you see Wagyu farming as a sign of ethical livestock care? Why or why not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join AgroWorks USA on more fascinating journeys. Wagyu beef's luxury status comes with a hidden environmental cost. Each cow can consume up to 5 tons of high-energy feed over a 30-month fattening cycle, far more than conventional cattle, leading to increased carbon emissions from both feed production and long-distance transport. Additionally, the breed's long lifespan and low feed efficiency result in higher methane emissions per animal, making Wagyu farming one of the most resource-intensive beef systems globally. While many Wagyu farms focus on animal welfare, that doesn't always translate to lower ecological impact. Some producers are starting to adopt greener practices, like local feed sourcing or carbon offsetting, but these remain exceptions. As demand for Wagyu rises, so does its environmental footprint, raising tough questions about the sustainability of luxury food in a warming world. From its carefully bred bloodlines to the marble-rich steaks on Michelin-starred plates, Wagyu stands as the ultimate fusion of tradition, science, and indulgence. It's not just about raising cattle. It's about crafting an experience that borders on art. But with rising global demand, ethical concerns, and environmental costs, one question lingers. Is Wagyu a justifiable luxury or an unsustainable indulgence in a changing world? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of Wagyu, like this video, subscribe to AgroWorks USA, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on more behind-the-scenes stories from global agriculture. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Behind the high walls of crocodile farms lies an industry worth millions, where every part of the animal has a price. Just minutes after leaving the water, a crocodile moves through a closed-loop process: skinning, grading, weighing, and vacuum packing, ready to go from farm to table. Welcome back to AgroWorks USA, the channel where we uncover the hidden stories behind the food, fashion, and materials shaping our world. Today, we're stepping inside one of the most tightly regulated and surprisingly complex farming sectors: crocodile meat production. From the moment hatchlings are raised in specialized enclosures to the final precision cuts prepared for export, this is a process driven by both science and skill. We'll explore how farmers balance efficiency, animal welfare, and product quality in a business where timing, technique, and traceability can make the difference between profit and loss. If you these behind-the-scenes journeys, this is a story you won't want to miss. Like this video and subscribe to AgroWorks USA for more deep dives into food, farming, and the price of perfection. Don't forget to ring the bell. Crocodile farming begins with one of its riskiest yet most critical steps: harvesting eggs from wild nests. Female crocodiles lay 15-20 eggs in sandy mounds near the water, guarding them with fierce aggression. Trained collectors, usually in pairs, must approach with extreme caution, using poles or shields to deter sudden lunges from the mother. Each egg is marked and kept in its original orientation to prevent internal damage, as even slight rotation can kill the embryo. Some commercial farms create controlled nesting zones for easier, safer access. However, many still collect from wild or semi-wild habitats to maintain robust genetics and avoid inbreeding. Detailed breeding records track clutch size, fertility, hatch success, and parental lineage, allowing farms to forecast future stock needs years in advance. Temperature and environmental controls during storage can even influence the eventual sex of hatchlings, aligning production goals with market demands. More females for leather, more males for meat. This structured, data-driven approach ensures a consistent, high-quality supply while safeguarding genetic diversity. Without precise egg collection and reproductive management, the entire farming cycle would falter, making this step the backbone of any profitable crocodile operation. Once collected, eggs are transferred to biosecure hatcheries, highly controlled environments where science takes over. Here, temperature and humidity are meticulously maintained between 29 degrees and 33 degrees Celsius, replicating natural nesting conditions while preventing disease. Incubation lasts 65-90 days, with success rates of 85-90%, far above the wild's 20-25%. Farmers can also adjust temperatures to control hatchling sex, aligning future stock with leather or meat market needs. Upon hatching, each 100-gram crocodile is placed in climate-stabilized rearing tanks with water kept between 30 degrees C and 33 degrees Celsius. Filtration systems run continuously, while smooth surfaces prevent abrasions that could slash hide value by up to 50%. Hatchlings are sorted by size to minimize fighting, ensuring optimal growth and skin quality. Their starter diet is a nutrient-rich paste made from chicken, fish, or beef, fortified with vitamins and minerals for strong bones, high immunity, and flawless skin development. Daily health checks monitor weight gain, skin integrity, and overall condition. Any crocodile showing signs of stress, illness, or poor feeding response is isolated for treatment. This stage is where survival rates, health, and hide quality are locked in, laying the foundation for a profitable harvest 2 years later. What do you think about raising crocodile hatchlings in a completely artificial environment? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe to AgroWorks USA, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. When juveniles outgrow nursery tanks, they are moved into spacious grow-out enclosures designed for both rapid growth and premium hide production. These enclosures feature large concrete pools with basking areas, shaded retreats, and varied water depths to mimic wetlands while enabling strict monitoring. Stocking densities are carefully regulated. Overcrowding can trigger aggression, causing scars that destroy hide value. Water temperature remains at 30 40 to nice year-round, supported by industrial-grade filtration to remove waste and limit bacterial growth. Feeding schedules are tailored to age. Younger crocodiles eat daily, while older juveniles are fed 2 to 3 times weekly. Their diet, rich in poultry, beef, and fish, delivers high protein and essential nutrients, promoting steady weight gain and smooth, unblemished skin. Regular weighing and measuring track growth rates, and any underperforming animals are moved to isolation pens for treatment. Strict biosecurity protocols, controlled access, disinfectant foot baths, and dedicated tools per enclosure keep disease risks minimal. By harvest age, usually 2.5 meters in length and weighing over 200 kilos, the crocodiles are in peak condition. Their hides are flawless for luxury leather, and their meat meets high-end culinary standards, ensuring maximum returns for the farm's investment and labor. Once crocodiles reach harvest size, they are transferred to licensed processing facilities where every step follows strict animal welfare and food safety regulations. Humane immobilization methods are used to reduce stress, as even minor skin damage can drastically lower the hide's value. Skilled workers perform the skinning process with surgical precision, especially around the belly, the section that yields the most valuable leather with symmetrical, unblemished scales. After the hide is removed, the carcass is broken down into prime meat cuts, including the tender tail fillet, back straps, ribs, and legs. These cuts are known for their lean texture, mild flavor, and high protein content, often compared to chicken, but with a slightly firmer bite. Meat is trimmed, cleaned, and processed in temperature-controlled rooms to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. Each portion is vacuum-sealed or flash-frozen, labeled with traceability codes linking it back to the farm and batch. Beyond fresh cuts, some facilities produce value-added products such as crocodile sausages, jerky, and cured meats. Bones, fat, and offal are repurposed into pet food, cosmetics, or fertilizer, ensuring the entire animal is utilized in a zero-waste production cycle. Do you think slaughtering a crocodile is more challenging than processing cattle or poultry? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback means a lot to me. Crocodile products occupy a niche yet lucrative segment of the global market, driven by both culinary demand and the prestige of exotic leather. Meat, particularly tail fillets and backstraps, is marketed as a premium, low-fat protein rich in omega-3 and minerals. Domestically, it remains a specialty item in high-end restaurants, but export markets, especially China, Japan, Thailand, and parts of Europe, continue to grow steadily. In 2022, global demand for crocodile meat pushed prices up to $30–40 AUD per kilogram for prime cuts. Beyond meat, crocodile leather commands some of the highest prices in the exotic skin industry. First-grade abdominal hides can fetch $10,000, $15,000 AUD each, depending on size and quality, making leather the primary revenue driver for most farms. This high value fuels significant investment in quality control, traceability, and animal welfare to maintain market position. Byproducts such as bones, claws, and fat further enhance profitability, being repurposed for souvenirs, jewelry, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. The industry's zero-waste approach maximizes revenue streams while appealing to environmentally conscious consumers, positioning crocodile farming as both a profitable and resource-efficient enterprise. Crocodile farming can be both a conservation tool and an environmental challenge. Regulated wild egg collection helps protect wetlands and incentivizes landowners, often indigenous communities, to preserve habitats instead of clearing them for development. This approach benefits entire ecosystems while sustaining wild crocodile populations. Yet farming operations have their own footprint. Warm water systems consume significant energy, feed production relies on other livestock industries, and waste runoff can pollute nearby waterways if unmanaged. On the positive side, crocodiles convert feed to protein more efficiently than cattle or pigs and require far less land, reducing pressure on natural resources. Many farms are adopting renewable energy, closed-loop filtration, and alternative feeds like insect protein to lower their impact. In the end, the environmental sustainability of crocodile farming depends on how widely and effectively these practices are implemented. Do you agree that collecting eggs instead of hunting adult crocodiles is a more sustainable approach? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to AgroWorks USA, and turn on notifications so you can join us on our upcoming journeys. The ethics of crocodile farming remain a point of heated debate. Supporters highlight that regulated farming reduces poaching, protects wild populations, and ensures animals are raised in controlled, humane conditions, often with veterinary oversight and strict welfare guidelines. From this view, farming provides a sustainable alternative to unregulated hunting while creating economic opportunities. Critics, however, argue that breeding and killing sentient, long-lived predators for luxury goods raises serious moral questions, especially when high-value leather is the primary product and meat is secondary. Concerns also focus on confinement, handling stress and slaughter practices, even in well-managed farms. Some producers are responding with transparency measures, third-party welfare audits, and public education programs to show compliance with best practices. Still, the question remains, can the farming of wild apex predators ever be fully reconciled with modern ethical standards? For many consumers, this is as important as quality or price. Behind every crocodile steak or luxury handbag lies a story of precision farming, strict regulation, and the balance between profit and preservation. Australia's crocodile industry proves that wildlife can be managed sustainably, boosting local economies, supporting conservation, and delivering products valued worldwide. Yet the future is not without obstacles. Market demand can shift with fashion trends, while climate change and ethical debates challenge the industry's stability. To thrive, it must remain transparent, environmentally responsible, and committed to animal welfare. What do you think? Can industries like this truly balance luxury and sustainability? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories from AgroWorks USA. The most popular chicken today isn't even a chicken. While the world remains hooked on broilers, China is embracing a different bird, guinea fowl. Native to Africa and once considered wild game, These speckled birds are now being farmed by the millions. But what makes them so special? And why are farmers shifting their focus? In this video, we explore the full journey of guinea fowl, from breeding and incubation to free-range care, modern processing, and premium exports. You'll learn how their meat, selling for up to 120 yuan per kilo, and protein-rich eggs are turning heads in gourmet kitchens and health-conscious homes alike. Their natural disease resistance, low feed intake, and adaptability to sustainable farming make them a smart choice in a changing agricultural world. If you're curious about the rise of alternative poultry and what it means for the future of food, stay with us. And if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to AgroWorks USA for more behind-the-scenes looks at farming and innovation. Guinea fowl farming in China prioritizes efficient egg collection and incubation to scale production. While the helmeted guinea fowl remains the most common breed due to its adaptability and resilience, commercial farms focus less on selective pairing and more on maximizing reproductive output from existing flocks. A healthy hen lays between 80 and 150 eggs per season, primarily from spring to late summer. Farmers collect eggs daily to prevent damage or loss, storing them under controlled conditions before incubation. On large-scale farms, artificial incubators are used to maintain consistent temperatures around 37.4 C and humidity levels between 50–60%, resulting in hatch rates of 75 to 85%. Unlike traditional systems where hens brood naturally, artificial incubation enables batch hatching, ensuring uniformity and reducing disease risk. Once hatched, keets are moved to preheated brooding units lined with straw and equipped with soft lighting. Here, they receive high-protein starter feed and vitamin supplements to support immunity and rapid growth. This incubation-focused model allows farms to expand quickly, meet rising demand, and maintain high survival rates, laying a strong foundation for efficient, scalable guinea fowl production. The early life stage of guinea fowl chicks, known as keets, is the most vulnerable and demands meticulous care. During the first 4 weeks, their immune systems are still immature, making them highly susceptible to disease and environmental stress. To counter this, Chinese farmers implement strict biosecurity protocols and maintain a stable brooding environment, preheating the brooding houses to 32 to 35 degrees Celsius with dry, clean bedding to ensure warmth and hygiene. Nutrition is also critical. Keets are provided a high-protein starter feed containing 22 to 24% protein, fortified with essential vitamins, minerals, and amino acids to promote early development. Many farms blend in traditional herbal additives like garlic, turmeric, and ginger, known to enhance immunity and reduce disease risk naturally. Vaccination against common poultry illnesses, such as Newcastle disease and fowlpox, is performed during this phase, alongside daily health checks to monitor behavior, growth, and any early signs of weakness or respiratory distress. When managed properly, survival rates can exceed 90%. This robust foundation not only improves long-term productivity and uniform growth, but also reduces the need for antibiotics later in life, supporting both farm efficiency and animal welfare. Do you notice any differences between how guinea fowl are raised compared to regular broiler chickens? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to follow more from AgroWorks USA. Guinea fowl farming in China combines natural rearing methods with optimized nutrition to improve productivity and meat quality. Birds are typically raised in semi-intensive systems, spending their days foraging in open fields, and returning to well-ventilated coops at night. These coops feature elevated perches, solid roofing, and mesh walls for airflow and protection from predators like foxes and hawks. Foraging reduces feed costs by up to 30% while enhancing the flavor and nutritional value of the meat. Each adult guinea fowl consumes about 80 to 100 grams of feed per day, with a feed conversion ratio, FCR, of 2.83.21. Farmers balance commercial poultry pellets with local grains such as corn, millet, and rice, bran to improve digestibility and reduce expenses. To further enhance growth, feeds are supplemented with protein-rich ingredients like soybean meal and fermented probiotic blends. Vitamins and minerals are also added to support immunity, particularly during early development. Clean water and shaded rest areas help reduce stress and support healthy metabolism. This dual model, rooted in natural behavior and nutritional science, not only ensures animal welfare, but also maximizes growth efficiency and profitability, making guinea fowl a sustainable and valuable alternative in the poultry sector. Guinea fowl typically reach market weight between 1.2 to 1.6 kilograms at around 12 weeks of age, making this the ideal time for harvesting. To reduce stress and minimize injury, birds are manually caught early in the morning and transported in well-ventilated cages to slaughter facilities. Before processing, they are given a short resting period to stabilize body temperature and lower cortisol levels, resulting in better meat quality and texture. In modern processing plants, humane slaughtering methods are prioritized. Techniques such as electrical water bath, stunning or controlled atmosphere, gas stunning are commonly used to ensure ethical standards. After bleeding, the birds are scalded, defeathered, and eviscerated using semi-automated production lines. Internal organs are carefully removed, cleaned, and sorted, while skilled workers break down the carcasses into primary cuts like breasts, thighs, and wings. Processed meat is either vacuum sealed for chilled delivery or rapidly frozen to retain freshness and prolong shelf life. Premium cuts are often marinated or turned into gourmet products such as guinea fowl sausages or smoked fillets. Rigorous quality checks, including microbial testing and visual inspections, ensure product safety and consistency. Thanks to improvements in cold chain logistics, these value-added guinea fowl products are exported to high-end markets across Southeast Asia and the Middle East. Consumers prize them for their rich, gamey flavor, lean composition, and high protein content, commanding prices of 80 to 120 RMB per kilogram, approximately 11 to 17 USD. Which farming method do you prefer? Free range or semi-intensive? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your opinion. Guinea fowl is gaining traction in China as a high-value poultry product. Its meat, priced between 80 and 20 yuan kilami, $11, $17 USD, offers a lean texture and rich flavor, with up to 25 calories of protein per 100 gram, appealing to health-conscious consumers in upscale restaurants in cities like Shanghai and Beijing. Guinea fowl eggs, though smaller than chicken eggs, are nutrient-dense and used in traditional medicine and gourmet dishes. They are sold at premium prices in specialty food markets and directly to chefs seeking unique ingredients. Beyond fresh meat and eggs, farms are producing marinated cuts and vacuum-packed portions for modern retail channels. Live birds are also sold as ornamental fowl or for natural pest control in rural regions. With growing domestic interest and rising demand from export markets such as Southeast Asia and the Middle East, guinea fowl farming presents strong economic potential and product diversity for farmers looking to expand sustainably. Despite its potential, guinea fowl farming in China faces several challenges. Limited public awareness and seasonal egg production hinder market growth and steady income. While free-range systems are affordable, they expose birds to predators and harsh weather. Disease outbreaks also remain a risk without proper biosecurity and veterinary support. Breeding stock is not widely available, making it harder for small farms to scale. Infrastructure like fencing, shelters, and temperature regulation adds to startup costs. To tackle these issues, the Chinese government offers support through technical training, breed development, and low-interest agricultural loans. Provincial programs promote farmer cooperatives and conduct workshops on incubation, disease control, and nutrition. These initiatives aim to strengthen the sector, improve efficiency, and position guinea fowl as a sustainable and profitable option for rural communities. Have you ever tasted guinea fowl meat? Do you think it could become more popular in the future? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more from AgroWorks USA. Guinea fowl farming offers key environmental and ethical advantages over conventional poultry systems. These birds thrive in free-range or semi-intensive setups, requiring less infrastructure and producing minimal waste. Their natural foraging helps control pests, reducing the need for chemical insecticides and supporting ecological balance. From an animal welfare perspective, guinea fowl experience less stress and disease in open environments, lowering antibiotic use and raising ethical standards. Their lower feed intake and slower growth also reduce the environmental impact of production. Technology further enhances efficiency. Tools like automated feeders, climate sensors, and mobile apps help farmers streamline care, especially during sensitive brooding and finishing phases. As consumer demand rises, maintaining a balance between productivity, sustainability, and welfare will be critical. Guinea fowl farming shows how tradition and innovation can align to create a more responsible and eco-friendly poultry industry. From the fields of rural China to international markets, guinea fowl are proving that sustainable farming can also be profitable and innovative. Their low environmental impact, high nutritional value, and growing consumer appeal make them a powerful alternative in the modern poultry industry. As demand for healthier, ethically raised meat increases, will guinea fowl become a staple in your region's agriculture? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and join the conversation. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe to AgroWorks USA for more behind-the-scenes looks at farming and food production. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the world of agriculture with us. From the golden feasts of European royalty to the sunlit fields of Yunnan, the peacock has journeyed far beyond its image of luxury. Once a living ornament of palaces, it is now the heart of a sustainable farming industry, where every dazzling display turns into streams of revenue from tourism, fashion, and the global marketplace. Welcome to AgroWorks USA. I'm here to take you inside one of the most fascinating transformations in modern agriculture: peacock farming. These birds, admired for centuries as symbols of beauty and power, are no longer confined to royal gardens or myths. Instead, they are raised on farms that combine cultural heritage with cutting-edge techniques, producing not only breathtaking feathers but also a booming business. In the next minutes, we'll uncover how Chinese farmers cultivate peafowls, the economics behind this stunning bird, and why its future lies at the intersection of conservation and commerce. Stay with us, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more untold stories from AgroWorks USA. Peafowls, scientifically known as pavo, trace their origins to South Asia, with strong populations in India, Sri Lanka, and surrounding regions. Over centuries, they have been introduced to Europe, China, and beyond, becoming one of the most admired ornamental birds in human history. Among the most recognized subspecies is the Indian blue peacock, famous for its deep sapphire plumage and iconic eye spot patterns. Crossbreeding with the Japanese green peacock gave rise to the Spalding peacock, larger in size and highly resilient. Even rarer are the white and multicolored peacocks, genetic variations prized by collectors and capable of fetching extraordinary prices on the global market. Culturally, the peacock carries profound symbolism. In India, it is the national bird and a sacred emblem linked to Lord Krishna and the goddess Saraswati. In China, it signifies longevity, prosperity, and nobility. In ancient Greece, it represented majesty and power. Beyond their beauty, peafowls embody timeless ideals, making them creatures of both cultural reverence and commercial value. For peacock farming to succeed, housing must be designed with both safety and natural behavior in mind. Each adult bird requires at least 100 square feet, 9 picks of open space, to walk, forage, and fully display its plumage. Enclosures should be secured with fences 6 to 7 feet high, tall enough to prevent flight but still allowing visibility. Integrating natural ground cover, shrubs, and even small trees inside the enclosure helps replicate their wild habitat, reducing stress and encouraging natural courtship displays. Sheltered areas are vital for protection against heavy rain, wind, and harsh sunlight. At night, peafowls instinctively seek high vantage points to sleep, so wooden perches should be installed to mimic this behavior. In colder climates, farmers often add heated perches or insulated flooring to protect the bird's feet from frostbite. Adequate ventilation is equally important. Airflow should prevent dampness without creating direct drafts, which may cause respiratory problems. Hygiene is the final cornerstone of proper management. Daily removal of droppings, leftover food, and feathers keeps the environment clean, while deep cleaning once a week, especially in the wet season, prevents disease, maintains feather quality, and ensures the long-term health of the flock. Do you think a peacock really needs 9 square meters of space? Or is that too much? And do you believe daily cleaning truly keeps them healthier? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more insights from AgroWorks USA. Peafowls are omnivorous birds with a varied diet that directly influences their health and feather quality. On farms, each adult consumes approximately 200 to 300 grams of feed per day, combining grains, vegetables, and proteins. Staples such as rice, corn, beans, and millet provide energy, while leafy greens like water spinach, cabbage, and carrots supply vital vitamins. Protein sources, including fish meal, earthworms, insects, and small crustaceans, are essential to maintain vibrant plumage and strong immunity. During the breeding season, farmers typically increase protein intake to enhance fertility and improve hatch rates. For chicks, nutrition begins with finely ground starter feed, often mixed with boiled eggs and tender greens to build strength. As they grow, they are gradually introduced to grains and live insects to develop natural foraging skills. Clean drinking water must always be available, refreshed daily to prevent contamination. Beyond diet, attentive care is crucial. Farmers monitor feather condition, weight, and behavior to detect early signs of illness. Routine deworming, vaccination programs, and mineral supplements further protect the flock. With balanced nutrition and proactive management, peafowls thrive in captivity, producing the brilliant tail feathers and robust health that make them highly valued in global markets. The reproductive cycle of peafowls is both spectacular and economically important. Breeding season typically runs from March to August, when males display their magnificent tail feathers to attract mates. By fanning their plumage into a dazzling arc and vibrating the feathers to create shimmering light effects, peacocks compete for the attention of nearby peahens. Females select mates based on tail length, vivid eye spots, and the strength of the male's courtship dance, traits that signal vitality and genetic fitness. Once mating occurs, a peahen lays between 20 and 30 eggs per season, with some reaching up to 40 under optimal care. Eggs are usually deposited in shallow ground nests hidden among tall grass or bushes for protection. The incubation period lasts 27 to 30 days, during which the mother remains close, guarding and warming the clutch. Newly hatched pea chicks are covered in soft yellow-brown down, blending into their environment for camouflage. They grow rapidly, developing their first blue feathers within 3 to 4 months. By 2 years of age, peafowls reach adult size, though males require nearly 3 years to grow their full ornamental train. With proper care, they can live up to 35 years, making them a long-term commitment for farmers. Are you surprised that a female peahen can lay up to 30 eggs a year? Which do you think works better, natural incubation or using machines? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion. The global market for peafowls demonstrates just how valuable these birds have become. In the United States, a juvenile peacock typically sells for $200 to $500, while a healthy adult can reach $1,500 to $2,000. Rare variations such as the white or multicolored peacock command premium prices, with pairs sometimes valued at $8,000 to $10,000. In China, large-scale farms in provinces like Yunnan and Guangxi generate hundreds of millions of dollars annually, exporting thousands of birds across Southeast Asia and the Middle East. Revenue is not limited to live bird sales. Each peacock naturally sheds 150 to 200 feathers per year, which are carefully collected and sold for $5 to $20 each, supplying the fashion, decor, and handicraft industries. Some farms also provide rental services for weddings and cultural events, charging between $300 and $1,000 per occasion. Additionally, ecotourism ventures that showcase peafowls in landscape parks or sanctuaries can generate hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, combining conservation with commercial opportunity. Together, these diverse income streams transform peacock farming from a niche hobby into a sustainable agribusiness model with both local and global impact. Despite its appeal, peacock farming comes with serious risks. Disease is the foremost challenge. Peafowls, though resilient, are prone to respiratory infections, digestive issues, and parasites when kept in damp or unhygienic conditions. Preventive care, regular cleaning, deworming, and vaccinations is vital but increases costs. The second challenge is high investment and slow returns. Building spacious aviaries, ensuring protein-rich diets, and hiring skilled workers demands significant capital. Since males require nearly 3 years to grow their full ornamental plumage, farmers must wait before seeing maximum profit, testing both patience and financial stability. Market risks also loom large. The demand for peafowls is strong but specialized, linked to luxury decor, ecotourism, and collectors. Any downturn in these sectors can cause sharp declines in prices. In addition, legal restrictions on certain subspecies, such as the Indian blue in its native country, complicate trade. To succeed, farmers must balance vision with careful planning. managing both the opportunities and vulnerabilities of this unique industry. Do you think the peafowl market is truly sustainable or just a passing trend? What do you see as the biggest risk, disease, or unstable markets? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy stories like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with AgriWorks USA. The future of peacock farming looks increasingly promising as global demand for ornamental birds and ecotourism steadily rises. Market projections indicate growth of 5 to 7% per year, driven by luxury sectors in Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Peacocks, long symbols of prosperity and beauty, are finding new roles in fashion, decor, and cultural tourism. Farms are also moving towards sustainable models, combining breeding with eco-parks that attract visitors while supporting conservation. Improved incubation systems and veterinary practices are boosting hatch rates, while selective breeding creates more resilient flocks with higher market value. These innovations allow farmers to balance tradition with modern efficiency. Although investment costs and market risks remain, the long lifespan of peafowls and their enduring cultural prestige ensure they will remain valuable assets. For forward-looking farmers, this industry is more than a hobby. It is a pathway to combine natural beauty with sustainability and long-term economic opportunity. From the palaces of Europe to modern farms in China, the peacock's journey reflects how beauty can be transformed into business. No longer just a royal ornament, it is now a sustainable source of income through tourism, feathers, and global trade. For farmers who master proper care and strategy, peafowls represent a unique blend of culture, conservation, and commerce. But what about you? Do you see peacock farming as a niche reserved for luxury markets, or as a growing opportunity for sustainable agriculture worldwide? Would you ever consider raising these magnificent birds yourself? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay with AgriWorks USA as we continue exploring the world's most fascinating stories in modern farming. Welcome back to AgriWorks USA, the channel where we explore the fascinating industries behind our food. With an annual output of over 5.5 million tons